Let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safer Liquid Beer Release podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check it in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
Hello!
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody's tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock and log you with some sirloin bites. Daddy likes.
6:04 on a Monday morning. 6:05 on the Monday morning of deadline week. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my God! They better get so many sweet deals done. They have to. That's what you're probably thinking right now.
Do they?
I don't know. I mean,
Do they?
would you touch it?
Don't mess with success.
Would you touch this thing? What say you? 780-218-9999. Nielson Show coming at you hot from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio, where all you need to know is that these guys are gosh darn delicious. Anything you get at Popeyes will satisfy your cravings, including the regular Popeyes chicken sandwich. You got the Popeyes wings kicking around, still those wings plastered on the boards, watching the Oilers game. So yes, get it done. Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. They rep our studio, so you go and eat there for lunch, all right? Let's make that work. You can text us anytime. Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox. Go see our friends at PJ's. They'll look after you. 22 locations, Canadian, family owned, all across. 22 locations. My goodness, that's a lot of locations. You can also visit their website, parisjewelers.com. They have flexible financing options. You do not have to pay until 2025. And, of course, on the Nasty Chat, you can hit us up.
Haircut.
I did get a haircut. Yeah, thank you, Eric.
Yes.
Man, you really noticed. It's,
Yes.
It's high and tight, as we like to
Yeah,
say.
they're really good.
Marshall and I went together. Marshall smelled like a little man after. And as we walked out there, he goes, Daddy, can we go to Mr. Barber whenever possible? I was just like, sure, man. We'll see what we can do
clean
for
shave
you.
on him. Eh?
Yeah. They gave him the old straight razor, whatever they say too. He was so we got the exact same haircut. Went in, said we need a 4 on the sides and the back, and take about 1.5 inches off the top, sir.
Love it.
Marshall got a guy though who had never had it. Like it must have been the first haircut he's ever been doing.
Yeah, that's good.
He had to have like 2 people go over and help him. Marshall said that his first haircut ever being like, why is there 3 people operating on my hair?
What did
right
I do?
now? But yeah, I know he had a good time. It was nice because the location there, we hit that up. Then you know what you do as a father and son after getting a haircut there, walk on down to Wayne's Sports Cards. So we went into Wayne's for a little bit. That
No
was
better
nice.
place to show off the new do.
Then into Wayne's.
Then at Wayne's, yeah.
Yeah, he walked in there like a
Feeling like a
peacock,
great
right?
man.
Yeah. And then yesterday we were back in that area because we went to Italian Center Shop, picked up some pizzas. We're diving into the Italian Center Shop Pizza for the next 2 weeks, which is going to be delicious.
Good.
We're going to go there around 7:45 today. We got the pizzas kicking right over when they're in the kitchen right now, so that should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that as we work our way through the show today as well. People are loving those intros still. If you hadn't seen the intro yet, on a Monday morning, it kind of hits hard, right? You probably were loving that. Shout out to YouTube Trev for making that work. He was in on postgame last night, so we got Mr. Lean in the house with us this morning. We'll get into the game, obviously. We'll get into some morning announcements coming up. We'll lay out the rest of the show for you. How was your weekend? You went and saw the boys play on Friday night?
Yeah.
How was that? How was the show?
No better show than a show on a Friday night. You don't got to worry too much. The boys were out, Glue Crew were out at Billy Bud's. Iwanic, his brother, YouTube Trev came over, did a little pre-partying at my place. Saw Scout from the Elks. It was a good night. It was a real good night. The boys played great. It was a nice tight set. And outside of that, it was curling for me. Briar on, wife curling last night at the Granite. And all surrounding back-to-back Oilers wins. Can't get it. This was a little bit of shoveling mixed in, a little bit of exercise, as you do. A great weekend overall. 10 out of 10 in my books.
Wow, a
Personally,
10 out of 10.
I'll give it a 10.
That's real nice.
Perfect score.
That's a real nice weekend, 10 out of 10.
Nothing bad happened.
Not a single bad thing happened all weekend. Wow.
No, it's just perfect.
Speaking of bad things happen, Drake's just texted me.
Get out of here.
Can't make it. He's super sick. What is going on
He's
here?
super sick.
Yeah, no, he just texted me. He said he got hit hard this weekend.
9 out of 10.
So 9 out of 10. So how about this for a show? How about this for a show now? Dregs texts me right now and says he's sick. Rashad texts Eric last night and said that he's sick. What's up with everybody being sick?
On trade deadline week.
On trade deadline week. Unbelievable. We'll have to reschedule with Dregs here when he's healthier at some point. I'd say the same about Rashad, too, but that guy just barely ever joins us anymore. Yeah. Now, he is sick. He didn't do his post-game show last night. Gager stepped in with Struddy and Rob Brown. But I still think we can have a lot of fun with Rashad's excuse to not join us next week. Hey, let's have some fun with that one. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Could be how you win text of the day for A&W. All right? Tell your buddies to slide on in. A&W, Spicy Piri Piri Buddy. Is ready to go for only $3.99. $3.99 in 2024 in this economy? How's it possible?
Let Rashad get you lunch, pretty much, eh? Easy avenue to win today through text of the day on
Yeah, pretty much.
Rashad's sicky scenarios, and
Yeah.
bing, bang, boom, you're at A&W.
It's got the new spicy piri piri sauce, layers of crisp whole leaf lettuce, sliced tomato, red onion, all served with your choice of chicken patty, beef patty, or hash brown patty. Tell your buddies the new spicy piri buddies are just $3.99. Zip through the drive-thru. Remember, they're always only here for a limited time. And that really adds to the demand, right? Because you're going to miss it. And you're going to be like, damn it. Or you're going to fall in love with it. You're going to take it away. And you're really going to yearn to get it back.
Like Dreger.
That's right. We yearn for Drake to come back to the show, yeah.
Sailor says it's okay. He's available. Strummy suggests have RCN fill in. Joe Belineski says, I'm sick too. So we have a trio.
Up today, just after 7 o'clock, RCN will chime in.
I'll just read Dreger tweets for you guys. You guys ask me
real
questions.
Nice. That's real nice.
And I'll just read a couple of his recent tweets.
That's not bad.
That must be what it is.
You can dress it up dramatically.
Yeah. I'll just
time and everything.
Darren, thanks for having me. Thanks for being on. Ask whatever question, then I'll just read one of his tweets.
We could probably make that work.
There's something there.
780-218-9999. Oh, snap. Shoggy will likely have a case of the gout mixed in with and or back pain, probably caused from doing something handy, like a nice carpentry project. Hey, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, let's hammer that thumbs up, right? That thumbs up is just...
Maddie's in today.
I'm here.
You know what that means?
I'm here.
It's been a big weekend of soccer.
No! Yeah.
We have the Manchester Derby. We have the Liverpool comeback.
Absolutely.
We've got a game today. There's a lot of soccer we could get into right now.
We could get into today?
I really don't want to, but I will.
I really don't want
I could
to either.
rant a lot about Manchester United losing the Derby yesterday.
Hear that,
so,
folks? Hear that?
I'm here. I'm ready to go. Hey, and Dreger's not here at 7.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We got to hammer this thumbs
I
up
could really go
right
off
now.
at 7.
You're in danger.
You guys right now. Okay, let's hammer this thumbs up.
This is exciting.
No, it's not exciting. It's very concerning. We need 100 likes before 7 o'clock this morning, or Matt's going to talk soccer.
Morning.
It's
Matt
going to
did.
be wonderful.
Oh, morning Matt Day. Gross.
We could do it at 7 or 8:20. We could do 2 segments today.
No, it's
Actually,
it's deadline
7
week.
o'clock, we could do soccer. 8:20, we could talk about the formerly Honda Classic.
If you're not already sick,
It's, who ended up winning the Cognizant? Was it Shane Lowry?
It's been
Oh,
it's
there's
on
a
right. It's going to
postpone?
start right away.
Okay, good. I know Shane Lowry's in the mix.
Yeah.
He was one of our picks, Pat Gregor's picks. So.
No, it had a suspension yesterday. He came back suspended due to darkness.
and we call it the Honda
But-
Classic around here. But we say,
Always, easily.
get that cognizant out of your
This
mouth.
is a good one, too, from Jay Style. I wonder who Shoggy got to sponsor his sick day. I'm sure it's brought to you by somebody. I love it. Jeffy's in. It says, Rashog is an all-time Settlers of Catan heater, and you can never walk away from Catan when you're on a heater,
Maybe.
right? That's a good
If that's
idea.
the case, then
That's a good idea.
we're fine with it.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Guys, Shoggy pulled his back while reaching for a fork to eat his pizza and then fell down the front step while going to the chiropractor. That's on brand. That's on point. I like that one. Keep those rolling in at 780-218-9999. We'll get to a few more of those. I will say this to both Rashog and Drager. Get well soon. We want you to get well. We definitely need that.
Whoa.
I mean, Craig Button would have played through tough, right? That's the difference. Craig Button would miss this show if he was at the top of Mount Everest.
Especially on deadline week.
He'd find a way. He'd find a way for sure. But we'll have the boys back, maybe even later in the week. If not, definitely next Monday, as we'll be recapping trade deadline coverage. We're going to have full trade deadline coverage on Friday. We'll have our show for 3 hours. We're going to have the hangout for 2 hours, and then we're going to go extended oil stream on trade deadline day. That'll take you on the 2 hours leading up to the deadline, and an hour past the deadline. We'll hear what Ken Holland have to say after what'll end up maybe being a busy week. For this guy. Does it have to be a busy week after you watch them play this weekend? They're much better yesterday than they were against Seattle. I thought Skinner was really good against Seattle.
We discussed this during the win streak too, in that you
leave things as is.
well now that
No,
clearly it won't be. No, but yeah,
You absolutely there has to be a forward coming in and there has to be a defenseman coming in. If Ken Holland can't deliver a forward and a defenseman this week, it's a fail. It's as simple as that.
And do they get
One
any
of
more
each.
money if we LTIR both Rashog and Dreger for the week?
Well, we would get more money leading up to the deadline cap.
I think we talked to HR Daddy, and by Friday we'll be swimming in money.
What do we think about
These
this?
two guys on long term, and away we
A
go.
little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Hey.
So yeah, I think bare minimum, they're out on the goalies. We know that they're not going to get a goalie. They have to delay. I don't even care who the forward is. I prefer Buchnevich, but
Oh yeah,
I
that
don't care.
audition
I don't
last
care
week
who the
was-
forward is. They got to get a forward. They got to get a D-man. And once again, even if it's Nick Dowd and a number 7 veteran defenseman, you got to deliver those two pieces. If they come away with just one piece, let's say they add Buchnevich, I would still be concerned, I think most fans are, of a Cody Ceci in the top 4 come playoff time. Now, they flipped it around a little bit, Ceci and Kulak, and then Desharnais. I'm also not very comfortable with Desharnais, God love him, in the top 4 come playoff time.
a
either.
little,
So-
a little more here.
what say you? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, and we'll get into more of your trade deadline thoughts as well. Let's hammer that thumbs up so we don't have to deal with any of the soccer talk.
One guy
before or
wants to
after
talk
7.
MLS. I mean,
my
it's one
God.
thing. Oh, no.
John Herdman with the first win for
No,
TFC,
he
and
wants to
Insigne
go-
with the goal.
Messi and Suarez show against
Oh,
Orlando.
watch
Anybody?
that a little bit here this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, well, it's one thing.
There's,
Premier
did
League,
you
but-
see Loris with the snow bowl that he was in?
Yes.
Oh,
They brought up
welcome to North America, am I right?
brought up the orange ball for that one, hey, or whatever it is.
Is that the soccer one? In the snow? I saw that.
Yeah.
In
And
the
they
snow.
play in snow.
Yeah,
Was
but-
it LA? It wasn't the LA team
He's,
bitching about it? They were whining?
Yeah, well, he's a world champion goalie who just came from Tottenham, coming to the MLS, and all of a sudden having to play in all this snow. Probably regretting his decision a little bit.
That's fun.
This is the stuff that we could talk about at 7 o'clock unless we get to 100 likes. Depending how this goes.
No. If we get 100 likes, there's no soccer talk. after that.
He's calm,
Future, I'm going to have to bump those up a little bit.
Oh, my goodness.
In
We
the
just got
future.
going. We
In
just
the
got
future.
going. Hammer the thumbs up, please.
There's a chance.
I
I'm
can't sit here
just
through
going to
this
throw
today.
this out there. This doesn't count for the Cool Bet Hotline of the day when
It's
Mr. Lean
deadline
comes.
week.
Well, Mr. Lean comes.
Okay.
I may go. I don't know what I'm going with, Mr. Lean, yet, but there might be some soccer.
Oh, that's fair.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, this doesn't count.
Sheffield
that
United and
one,
Arsenal
but-
today.
Cool bet
my
hotline
point.
of the day is open to all sports, Matty. You don't have to worry about that.
Well, I'm just making
watch him
sure that
disable
people
the
know
video
that this
again.
doesn't apply to that part. But we're still not at 100 likes, so 7:05. Pro-Am big guest of the day is going to be Matt Awanek talking soccer.
No, he's not. We got to hit that thumbs up. Come on, hammer the thumbs up for us today. This text is in from Vance Van Vandervan. Could be text of the day. Kyle Dubas, you've done it again. Take a bow, good sir. We'll get into the Penguins as we work our way through the morning after show coming up. But I know they were missing Rustin Gensel. But that Penguins team,
Well-
why would you think they'd be in the playoffs? I'm trying to figure that out. Would you watch them?
On a Sunday of trade deadline week, this pretty much staples them to where they're going to be. And the last game of a 4-game trip, Calgary late. I mean, this is
I was one of the things
Stick
I
a
was going to
fork.
ask Dregs was, is this the end for the Pittsburgh Penguins? Like, was that it? That was it. That was the
franchise
end for
done,
the Pittsburgh Penguins. What ends up happening there? 780-218-9999. Guys, if we get an upgrade to play with Nurse, would you feel more comfortable with CC or Desharnais on the third pair? Great question. Probably a pretty kind of Oilers nerdy for this earlier in the day, but we can discuss. I like the option to go to both of them, depending on what you need. I mean, if you're playing a super duper heavy team that's not overly quick, then you can throw Desharnais in there. If you need, not that CC's a burner by any stretch of the imagination, but if you don't need the heavier guy, then you throw Cody CC in there on the third pair, if you're able to find an upgrade. And not 100% sure that you'll be able to do that. But I know they'll try. 780-218-9999. Let's lay out the show for you this morning. We will have your morning after show coming up, either before or just after 6:30 for the award-winning EM Utility Locating. More on that in a second.
Right.
God, I love when one of our partners brings home some hardware.
huge news.
This is good. This is real nice. We'll get into that coming up here just after 6:30 this morning. The good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. Jake Paul makes the list once again. He's a boxer, didn't you know? We'll get to that just before 7 o'clock today. I did have Darren Dreger slotted in here just after 7 o'clock, but he's not feeling good. He's not going to be able to join us. Cool Bet Hotline of the day coming up around 7:20. 7:30 today, I says, pardon? We're going to dive into that. 7:45 today. That's a good. We're going to actually be trying that pizza from Italian Center Shop today. And a little excited
You're in
about
for a
this.
treat.
A little excited about this. We're going to go there around 7:45 today. 3 questions too many, kind of easy trivia all on the way just after 8 o'clock this morning. And Ryan Rashog, man, do you think Rashog and Dregs have been kissing? Is that what's happened here? They're both sick at the same
Sharing
day?
a water bottle in the bench or something.
Oh, maybe that's what's happening around here. Maybe that's what's happening.
Smooching.
Anyway, Shoggy is sick. Did not do Got Your Back last night. Had Gager step in for him over there, and unable to join us this morning. Get well soon. We want you to get well. Ryan Rashog. Belineski's in it. Says, Darby Allin going through the glass at AEW Revolution. I says, pardon? That was one of the things that I was looking at. Did you see this guy?
What
Let's get to your morning announcements because they're huge wrestling nerds over at The Bear. Morning announcements brought to you by 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Listen to them every single morning. And our girl, Jess Jackson, every single afternoon at 100.3 The Bear. They got their secret sound contest rolling along right now. Your morning announcements from the weekend. Max Verstappen
Spoiler alert.
won by 10 seconds last year in Bahrain, won by 22 seconds this year. Is that Red Bull even faster? His teammate Checo Perez comes in number 2 as well. Top 5 teams all finished in the top 10 spots. Bottom 5 teams all finished in the bottom 10 spots. We'll see where things go from here. Gager and I have a recap episode of the Pit Stop Pals probably later on tonight. But Max Verstappen rolls. You missed the pre-race walk, though. You were a little disappointed.
I
about
know. Well, okay, so the race was Saturday night, correct? Yes.
Saturday night there, which was Saturday
that.
morning
Saturday
here.
morning here. It was Saturday morning here. Yeah.
Yes. So I missed the. All I did was watch the race, which kind of, I was telling you this last week, the pre-walk, the preamble, the brundle, all that stuff. So I missed that. And then I was like, okay, well, but it's race number 1 of the season.
Yeah,
Everything's
exactly,
on the
yeah.
line, So if any race is going to be, and then it just, again, Verstappen, I mean, he got pole. We all knew that, and then gets out in front. And
Got out
really
right away. He was up by like 12 seconds,
nothing
13
is-
laps in.
Yeah, I mean,
Pulled
other
away
than
from the
that, I
pack.
mean, there was a few slow pit stops by some. It's really watching the calamity and the hilarity of all the other teams trying to,
The back end
and they're
guys.
like, oh,
are-
the battle for second, and then of course Checo eventually gets it. So you're like, Red Bull 1 and 2.
Yeah. We'll get into that a little bit more on ISIS
good,
part
bad, and
today.
ugly.
We'll get into that. Or good, bad, and ugly. Some good battling there in the middle, though, with
I get it, but
McLaren
yeah.
and Mercedes and stuff.
The battle between Tsunoda and Ricardo is
And
going to
Danny
be
Rick.
fascinating.
It's going to be good, isn't it?
That's going to be a fun one to watch.
Fascinating indeed. Yes.
I'm
I
looking
think
forward to that one.
Tsunoda passes him in the cool down lap twice.
Sure.
It's going to be this. It's the battle
Yeah.
between those two is going to be fascinating to watch.
I've been watching Drive to Survive season 6, and it's been really good. Really good. I'm 3 episodes in now. It's been awesome.
Is it already beginning to end? Like it's already capped? Season 6? Like you're not waiting for episodes to drop still? Like
No, season 6 is done. It's
Perfect,
out. It's done. It's done. You can binge it all if you want them.
The other part of the season I think is going to be fascinating to watch is the team of EST, which is Ferrari.
Yeah.
And how Sainz doesn't care. Like he went he's going to go all out this
Yeah.
year. He doesn't care. They're not going to be able to do anything for him. Right away, he passes Charles Leclerc. He ends up finishing on the podium. The race between him and Leclerc and Ferrari, that one is going to be fascinating to watch near the top.
I was keeping a firm eye on our Ferrari boys. Right? We are still.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
After one race, we're all
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah,
locked
yeah.
in.
Well,
right?
Sainz going to try to find where's he going to land next year. He doesn't care about the team he's on right now. So he's like,
Ferrari does look like the second best car right now.
And there's no pulling Sainz back for Leclerc, because why would he?
There'd
If
be
they
no
ever-
reason.
Well, if they
There'd be
ever
no
tell him,
reason.
like, let Leclerc pass, he's going to go, well, no, I'm just going to keep going. What are you going to do to me? Fire me?
Also on your morning announcements today, is it Darby Allin? Is that what? I like how his name's spelt. I feel like it's all in
Darby Allin.
because he
Reminds me of
he
Darby
does
Hendrickson.
crazy things.
Remember
He's-
Darby Hendrickson and that weird helmet?
Darby
he wore?
Hendrickson, yeah. But did you see what this guy did?
Yeah, it was cute. I mean, look, I watched
My
ECW
God,
growing
was that
up.
necessary? Like,
I did that in my friend's parents' living room growing
Through a
up.
glass
HBW. Look, if you ever watched New Jack, like this is fine. Oh, look, yeah. What? 3 panes of glass, a couple of chairs, right? He backflipped.
yeah, but did you see his back after?
Yes.
I mean, it was. I saw it's like a still image of it. He was bloody bleeding all over
cut
the
up,
place.
Let's see him get a fluorescent light tube to the face.
God. I just was like, what is this guy doing? Like, is that completely necessary? Do you have to do a backflip off of whatever he was standing on way up in the air?
Gets a pop.
Down through panes of glass?
What a pop.
Oh, my goodness.
Was anybody even on
Grossed
there?
me out.
Did he just do
no,
that
somebody got pulled away,
Oh,
but really
classic.
early, like
Oh,
way
boy, yeah.
before. I had to notice it on the replay that somebody was underneath. But it's if anybody actually thought he was gonna like
I can withstand pain. Watch this. Totally unnecessary.
Yeah, that was quite something. Hey, I haven't checked it out yet. Darby
He's
Allin, just go on Twitter.
Stuck
You
the
can see
landing
it.
good.
It's that just seemed like too much. I mean, I know you do some crazy things in
Ouchie.
wrestling, but that just seemed like probably unnecessary. But kudos to him for buying into the gig, I guess.
It's no Rempe tilt. Hey, him and Reeves.
Rempe and
Pow.
Reeves finally
Pow,
got
pow,
there.
pow.
Finally got there. Now everybody can just shut up about it now, I think. But once you fight Ryan Reeves, there's nothing left to do
Well,
in the
he's-
National Hockey
you
League.
beat the big
so
boss. Yeah.
Mission accomplished on that front. Speaking of mission accomplished, Zach Hyman, goal scoring extraordinaire here.
Hey everyone, I'm Zach Hyman of the Edmonton Oilers.
She's so tenacious.
Hope you guys enjoy it.
Revving up his engine, listen to the crowd just roar. No reason for tension, Zach is gonna shoot and score. Hyman's in the scoring zone. Right into the scoring zone. Signed for 7 years, now he's playing by McDavid's side. He's got you jumping out of your seat cause of that look in his eyes. Hyman Hyman's in the scoring zone. He'll take you right into that scoring zone. You know he's gonna score a few. Playing with Connor, it's a top line overload. You'll finally see what he can do. So raise your hands up as high as they can go.
He always said that was a magician's secret.
His energy is contagious.
Playing with an edge, that's what you're gonna see. Taking the next step, cause he's no longer with the Leafs. Hyman's in the scoring zone. He'll take you right into that scoring zone. Hyman's in the scoring zone. He'll take you right into that scoring zone.
Zach Hyman goal song as he puts in two more. All the goal songs on the Nielson Show, any of our originals, brought to you by our great partners over at Sportball, where many of you have said you've signed your kid up for Sportball because of our suggestions, so we like to hear that. You're not going to regret it. You're going to text in 5 months from now and be like, you guys, Sportball is the best thing ever for kids, because it is. Visit www.sportball.ca for more info on all the sports programs that they offer. They do birthday parties, they do a bunch of stuff over there at sportball.ca. Summer camps are now posted if you're planning to get your kids a little bit active in the sports during the summer. Those are posted now. See Bro on the nasty chat this morning saying, Hyman 60? Question mark? Sure.
Can't say no, but you'd have to remain pretty red hot.
I'll do the hashtag right now.
50's happening, though. Be ready. Be ready for Zach Hyman in 50. It's remarkable what this guy is doing. Like, Zach Hyman, to me, is having a better season than Leon Draisaitl. And Leon Draisaitl, is Leon Draisaitl. But he is. I mean, tell me. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to argue that as a hot take. Zach Hyman has been better than Leon Draisaitl this year. It's been Connor McDavid, it's been Zach Hyman, then it's been Leon Draisaitl this season. That's how I view it. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Or hit us up in the nasty chat as well. But that's how good Zach Hyman has been this year. I mean, this dude, remember all those years? It was like poor old Low Tide in the search for 97 shooter. Well, they found 97 shooter, and he's just the perfect player to play alongside the captain of the Edmonton Oilers, Zach Hyman. I mean, and not only that, but him and Nuge are helping people out of the snow.
I've been waiting for this.
Like, I feel there's other guys on the team who may have driven by. But Nuge and Hyman, like, they got lucky that there was just the two nicest dudes, maybe in the city, not just on the team, are like, of course we'll help you out. Like, just, it's too good.
Who drove by? 780-218-9999.
Yeah, who was on the same route back? It was just like, we got it. RC Anderson says, Hyman's defying all logic. But the thing is that he's been staple with McDavid, and he goes to the net. Like, this is a lesson for not just. I know everybody goes, this is a lesson for young kids, and it definitely is. But this is also a lesson for the rest of his teammates. If you're on the ice with Connor McDavid, you go to the blue paint. You don't have to carry the puck. You don't have to try to do all these fancy things. You don't have to set up over here for a one-timer. You just have to go to the net. And Zach Hyman's been doing that. And, it's been absolutely amazing. Guys, it's a long shot, but Hyman swooping in to steal the rocket from Matthews would be the chef's kiss. Spruce Grove, Corey. Let's calm down here. I know you. Like, but just pause. That's too much of a long shot even for the text.
Pause and place yourself in that
Even
universe and just imagine it happening. It'd be pretty.
Austin Peter says, would you put Hyman in the top 5 for Hart voting, or is that just too far out to lunch? We love the guy. I think it's made apparent he is by far in the Nielsen household. Well, Marshall loves McDavid, but my wife and the Muzz absolutely adore Zach Hyman. And, of course, I still cheer for Jesse Puljujarvi. The Penguins got exactly what they deserved yesterday. But, I don't think you're not putting him in top 5 in Hart voting. It's still, like, the Hart votes in this city are still going to go to Connor McDavid, as they should. All right, coming up on the other side, we're going to get to your EM Utility Locating Morning After Show from our award-winning partners. Wait till you hear about this. This is great. Good, Bad, and Ugly from the weekend as well. Unless, of course, Good, Bad, and Ugly calls in sick and bails on us. Then we'll have to come up with something else. But we got lots to discuss from the Good, Bad, and Ugly from the weekend. And what do you say about those Pittsburgh Penguins? That's not a great team.
Dream's over.
That is not a great team. What would you do if you were Kyle Dubas? Not an easy one to answer. Let's get to a sports update for Green Plan with Lieutenant Eric.
Oilers have won 4 straight following a 6-1 win over the Penguins. Calvin Pickard improving to 8-3 with the win. Connor McDavid a goal and an assist, extending his point streak to 11. Zach Hyman also scoring twice, as the Oilers will now embark on a 4-game road trip beginning tomorrow in Boston. Elsewhere, the Kings dumped the Devils 5-1. Canucks over the Ducks 2-1. Jets defeat Buffalo 5-2. 6 games around the NHL later tonight. RJ Barrett had 23 points as the Raptors bounced Charlotte 111-106. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 35 as the West-leading Thunder eclipsed the Suns 118-110. Thunder will host the Lakers tonight in one of 6 games around the NBA. The Raptors host New Orleans tomorrow. PWHL action saw Minnesota shut out New York 2-0. Action resumes tomorrow night. Busy Monday on tap at the Briar for Alberta rinks. The Sluchinski rink will face off against Nova Scotia, while Kevin Cooey takes on Quebec in the morning draw. This afternoon, Brendan Botcher is up against Northern Ontario, while tonight, Sluchinski battles PEI, while it's Team Cooey up against Brad Gushu's Team Canada. Sports update for Green Plan. With construction season coming up around the corner, planning season is already in full swing. For all of your environmental planning needs, contact Green Plan Environmental Consultants. Green Plan can assist with any of your environmental concerns, no matter how big or small the project. Green Plan is here to help. Check them out today at green-plan.com.
There's something happening here. The Oilers look a lot better this year. Another win, put 2 points on the board. Telling me your faith is restored. I think it's time you stop. Listen, here we go. Wake up with the morning after show. This year's team's looking strong. Connor and Leon, they can't do no wrong. 6 o'clockers are losing their minds. Getting so many messages on the text line. Think it's time you stop. Listen, here we go. Wake up with the morning after show.
All right, it is the morning after show following an Oilers' impressive win over the lowly Pittsburgh Penguins. As always, the morning after show is brought to you by EM Utility Locating, the award-winning EM Utility Locating. How about this? Matt over at EM Utility Locating won the first ever Utility Safety Partners Locator of the Year award at the awards banquet in Banff in recognition of his commitment to safety, advocacy, and engagement in the utility damage prevention industry. How about this? Award-winning.
That's what we like to hear.
This is for you, Matt. You know, winning an award is one thing, but winning an award when the awards are held in Banff is completely something else. Like, you know, it's a high-level award if they're like, hey, we're bringing everybody to Banff and we're going to dish out the awards there. And Matt rolls out and is now the locator of the year. Nobody locates danger better than this guy. I mean, that's amazing.
He's a danger finder. He goes down. It's nice of him to thank EST as well in the acceptance speech.
Of course,
I do believe
of
he
course.
mentioned us in a small blurb, but
Wouldn't be possible without our partners over at EST. I'm sure it was mentioned. But yeah, EM Utility Locating, now Alberta's locator of the year. I love it.
Award winning.
I love it. Visit them at emutilitylocating.com if you too want to be safety. What'd you say? What was the song? What was the jingle you just made?
I can't remember.
He's a danger finder.
He's a danger finding guy.
That would be-
Company.
Hey, Matt, if you're looking for a jingle, that's your guy right there.
I was kind of going with that woman is a danger cat from Fubar. Do you remember that?
Don't remember that.
Woman is a danger cat.
Don't remember that. Also, just a quick note, if you're planning for something for your company, every year in April, they run free information and safety sessions on utility locating safely in support of Dig Safe Month. April is Dig Safe Month.
Following Charge.
I didn't even know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a 1-2 stack.
Straight out of Chin Strap Awareness Month into Dig Safe Month. Unbelievable. All right, the Edmonton Oilers get past the Pittsburgh Penguins, as they should. 6-1. Very nice game from the Edmonton Oilers. I thought as far as opposition goes, that was one of the worst games I've seen somebody else play against the Oilers so far this season.
Could have had the wave going in the pregame skate, really. I mean,
Nobody would. What a great wave that is. Like, that's the wave. Third period.
Thank you.
Up by 6.
That's when yeah.
I mean, although, did they do the wave before the goal?
I don't know.
Did the wave cost Pickard his shutout?
I just know in that version of it, I mean, it's
But
always
whatever.
funny. Some people are just throwing their full body into it. Hey, when you stand up, like you do the whole like,
Have a day.
like
Yeah.
some of them really lean into it. I just love it.
Stony Soprano Yukon says, morning nasties, minus 45 truck froze walking to work. Yay. Where's it minus 45? It's not minus 45 here right now.
I heard minus 50.
No, you didn't.
Wind chill is
I thought the wind chill
minus
was only
30s or
supposed to be at
something.
minus 35 or something.
Feels like.
With the wind chill.
As of right now, Blatchford, Edmonton, minus 34 with the wind chill. It's minus 24. But you look at Wednesday tomorrow minus 11, Wednesday minus 13, Thursday 0, Friday 3, Saturday plus 11.
Plus 11?
Sunday plus 7 is the long-term forecast.
ODR.
I would say that's going to drop down, but I think you're looking at
Plus 11.
probably the rest of this week 0-ish temps.
Get
So
over a
we
few
just
states.
have to go through a couple days, and it's just
Plus 11 is insane.
Quite a swing.
Holy smokes.
might be time to swing very soon for some people. If that holds. If those 11 degrees, it's going to golf courses. Murray was saying with the ranch that like they need about 4 or 5 days of like 8 to 10 degrees and then they can open. It depends. Like
Even
now
with the
that
amount
was
of snow
that
that
was
we got?
that was
Come on.
before this snow. That was
Yeah,
before
yeah.
this snow. So maybe like 2 weeks of nice weather. Boom. They could be. This could be the earliest season.
But he doesn't put the upside down pineapple on the gate to the ranch. Swing.
Wouldn't that be something? What a twist that would be. We're at 83 likes right now on Facebook. Let's get
Don't remind people.
Let's get
That's
7
their fault.
I
It's
have to.
40 minutes in.
No
a
way.
lot of time left.
It's 40 minutes in. It should have been well past this.
17 more thumbs up, or Matt's talking about some sort of cup.
There's no
after-
cups.
MLS.
We're not talking
There's MLS and there's Premier League to discuss.
on Cool Bet Hotline of the Day.
Or
We could
we do it at 7:05 because Darren Dreger's not here and we haven't hit 100 likes.
hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Save everybody. Zach Hyman's opened the scoring with his 41st of the season. That came in the first period. Second period is where the Edmonton Oilers absolutely took over, really getting it done late. Corey Perry was his 8th. Zach Hyman, number 42. Ryan McLeod. McLeod needed this game. McLeod had 1 assist and no goals in like his previous 15, 16 games. Had a horrible February offensively. Needed to get this going.
That's
Ends up
10
with his
10
10th
on the
goal
season.
of the season from Kulak and King. Cody Ceci. This guy's red hot. He gets his 2nd of the season. And then Connor McDavid with his 23rd. Evgeny Malkin, as they say in the biz, got off the schneid late in the 3rd to ruin the shutout. 6-1 the final. Calvin Pickard stops 22 of 23. What was the EST big moment that happened, buddy?
Well, I'll go to that Malkin goal as well to just spoil the shutout for one Calvin Pickard. Like a real elementary night. This one was not in...
Yeah.
I mean, I
Never
was
doubt.
at the Granite Curling Club last night taking in this game with no sound, mind you.
You had a smash burger, didn't you?
I had I had a Flat Boy Burger who do they have their kitchen right there at the Granite Curling Club. Outstanding stuff. Had a double burger with the fries and their secret sauce. Outstanding. Watching that, though, no sound, though, because they had the TVs on, a little bit of music. So first game of the season, I believe, no sound, no Jack, no Louie, no nothing. No Bob. But it didn't really feel like it was in doubt at all. I mean, I'll go to the second. I'll go to the first 6 minutes in the second where the Oilers stretched that 1-0 lead into a 3-0 lead. I mean, from there on, the Penguins aren't catching them. But again, in a night where you're doing the wave whenever you want, I'm kind of going to get a little selfish and greedy in the Penguins' goal. Denying Pickard of the shutout was the big moment that happened because everything else seemed pretty elementary.
I want to say like the McLeod and CC back-to-back goals late in the second, but let's be honest, that game was already taken care of at that point.
Like, was there ever a point where you winced in the first where you're like, oh
no.
Like, there was not a...
That was one of those games where there was not a moment.
At
any point in that game did you think the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to win that hockey game. And it's not because, like, the Oilers, they're a juggernaut or whatever. It's just like Pittsburgh had nothing going last night.
Done.
The Oilers are moving pretty well. I'll go with Zach Hyman's second of the game, 42. Put him up 3-0. That also involved a bounce, right? Draisaitl tried to put on net, hit a skate. Ends up over on Hyman's stick, puts in the back of the net. When you're getting the bounces and you're by far the better team, you know that thing's absolutely taken care of. So I will go Zach Hyman with number 42 on the year as your EST big moment that happened. Super stat of the night. What jumps off the page for you, buddy?
Well, Hyman's 2 goals.
41 and 42.
It's a great story that we're watching kind of continue on here night by night, game by game. Can I get a 957?
957! 957! 957!
9! And then on a night like it was, zeros for Connor Brown across the board, which I find somewhat super in its own sad way. Didn't even have a shot, not even a hit.
For the smallest,
zeros everywhere.
Most tiny moment last night when they were up 5 or 6-0, I thought, this is the type of game
sugar time, eh?
Where Connor Brown would score a goal. And then instantly the other side of my brain was like, shut up, you idiot. So it didn't last that long.
Yeah.
But
he's waiting for the big moment. But zeros across, like I just find that kind of it's bizarre, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's 38th player of the game type of thing.
Sure.
Played 13 and a half minutes with literally nothing all the way across the board. Let's see here. Super stat of the night. Cody Ceci, another goal, +2, was playing with Kulak, ended up with 3 shots, most of anybody on the blue line. So let's go super stat. Let's super stat Cody Ceci. We don't get to say that very often. Make that happen this evening. 3 stars last night, of course. Everybody's first star, both in your heart and your head. Zach Hyman, first star of the game. Ryan McLeod, second star of the game, and Cody Ceci, third star of the game. Who's the 4th star of the game?
I know that in some sports, places, so-and-so for mayor. Zach Hyman could probably, run like a good, we dream, athlete, mayor, president, whatever. Zach Hyman could probably run like a good city council. Like he could probably, why couldn't he? Video games, books, pushing people out of the snow. Wouldn't put it past him.
I could see him getting a significant number of votes if he was to run.
Landslide. Sorry, we were on the 4th star. Connor McDavid. I'm going to go with him. He extends his point streak now, 11 games, goal and an assist. Give it to the captain when it's a clean sweep of Hyman, McLeod, and CC for your first 3.
38th star of the game from last night. Boy, where do you even go? O'Connor, -3.
O'Connor. Oh, Connor.
1 shot on goal just over 18 minutes. Led the team in ice time somehow. Joseph on the back end was -3. As somebody texted in a little bit earlier on, Jonathan, a nice tie-in here too with EM Utility Locating. Speaking of safety, I'm so glad we dodged the Erik Karlsson bullet. Yeah, where is that pro Erik Karlsson to Edmonton crowd right now? I remember being like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And people are like, are you nuts? Are you nuts? This is exactly the guy that the Edmonton Oilers need.
But what about the couple years down the road? You shut up, right?
Yeah. Is there anybody out there still being like, man, the Oilers missed out on Karlsson. They totally should have brought in Karlsson. You seem awfully quiet right now. What's going on here?
You need the bottles on your fingers come out and play. The Warriors.
Is that
Come out and play.
Come on. Where are you guys? Where are you guys? Steady Eddie of the evening. We got to go with Pickard. This guy
Damn it.
is what you need in a backup from a steadiness perspective.
That's why they're not looking for a goaltender.
I think they're probably not looking for a goaltender because they likely can't afford one anyway.
Hey,
and they need
quiet.
to spend their assets on a blue liner and a forward. But, Skinner's been good lately.
Sure.
There's been a Skinner bounce back, and Pickard has done everything you asked of him basically in the entire season. We're going to hear a little bit from Pickard coming up here in your morning after show as well. But somebody texted in and said, Dusty, would you just play Pickard? And you can text us anytime, Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Would you just play Pickard against all non-playoff teams moving forward? Give Skinner the rest. Now, I got some time for a little bit more Pickard for sure. I think it's necessary. Not even more Pickard, such as less Skinner down the stretch for Skinner in the playoff purposes. But Pickard, when the team plays well in front of him, should be more than enough to beat mid to low level teams in the National Hockey League. So there's been no reason to doubt Pickard so far, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Pickard hasn't given you an opportunity to be like, my God, that James Franco gift where he's like this. He's like, look like that?
Sure.
He's never given you that since he came up, basically.
He's not leading you to a cup yet. But to give Skinner some time and some rest, sure, I will take it. I think there's a middle ground there.
I know the conversation has come up about like Jack Campbell and stuff, but Pickard has not given you a legitimate reason to be like, send him down. He can't do this job. Call Jack Campbell back up. Like he just hasn't done that.
No.
Which is as steady Eddie as they come. So congratulations on Calvin Pickard for picking up another win. Would have been nice to see him get that shutout last night just for his sake.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, could not get it done. Maddie, do we have Pickard? Let's get to Calvin Pickard's post-game after the win.
You had said it. You believe in yourself, and just every time you get a chance, just keep proving it.
Yeah, it was a good game. We were in control the whole night. I felt good going into it. Obviously, back-to-back. They were back-to-back as well. So, right from the puck drop, we had a good kill early in the game, and we really took control. We scored in the first and then didn't look back.
It looks like with the schedule, obviously it's more condensed. You're going to get a lot more playing time now. Excited about that opportunity. Is it naturally better and easier when you get to play more frequently?
For sure. We'll see what the next few weeks brings, but we're not looking too far ahead. Hop on the plane tomorrow. Kind of short-term memory. We'll enjoy it tonight, and then it'll be good. Condensed schedule is good for me. We need both guys going, so we got to keep this rolling.
When the GM says he's out of the goalie market at the trade deadline, is that anything you pay attention to, and how does it make you feel?
If I was paying attention to it, I don't think I'd have a ton of success. I'm just trying to go about my job, and I think I've done that pretty well so far. But we got a lot of season left for sure.
What did you see on that unfortunate bounce on their goal?
I didn't see much, honestly. It kind of took a weird turn behind me as I was turning my head, and then there was about a second there of hesitation. Then I turned my head, and Malkin was putting it in. It was unfortunate, obviously, but I got a couple good bounces along the way tonight too.
When you're running on a shutout with 53 minutes, do you ever think about the shutout?
It's in the back of your mind, but you're just looking forward to the next shot, and you got to stay in it. Obviously, it's 6-0. We're most likely going to win at that point. So I thought we defended really well all night, and it was just an unfortunate bounce.
There you go. That is Calvin Pickard. Joel in the Nasty Chat says he looks so chill. As we were watching that, even Eric's like, he doesn't look like an Oiler technically. He looks like a local businessman who works downtown. Like,
either he's coming in to collect a $20 A&W GC, or we're going to pitch him on some sort of segment
he's
here.
He's so clean shaven and what a haircut in this guy and stuff.
And again, as we've heard, like good in the room, like a glue guy, Oilers glue guy in a sense. More Pickard, please.
That's your morning after show for EM Utility Locating, the award-winning EM Utility Locating, where Matt is the locator of the year in Alberta. Congratulations.
I love it.
Once again. RBM is in. It says, first conch request ever. Can I get one for my nephew who took the cities in the U15 basketballs onto provincials? My man. Hashtag Association City. We got the good, bad, and ugly coming up. But first, Connor McDavid, number 23. Like, Hyman's got 42. Yeah. McDavid's got 23. This is wild.
Connor McDavid.
Let me say yeah.
Remember that name.
McDavid off a turnover. Walks in. Has a step shot. Glove save. No, it slips behind Holtby. And that's McDavid's 30th. Finds McDavid. The net is empty. Shoots and scores, and this one's over.
Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid. McDavid. Remember that name. Here is Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid. Smart move. Here is beautiful. Remember that name.
No. Connor has no limit. No. Connor has no limit.
Connor McDavid. Remember that name.
No limits when it comes to this guy. He's simply too fast. Think he can just fly. No limits, so why do you try? He'll score on his own, or he'll give it to try.
Connor McDavid.
Fans in heaven, cause the 9 to 7. The nation in love from Gibbons to Devon. Looking to pass, eating men on the ass. Second contract, a lot of cash. Tick, take your time. McDavid on your team and you'll be fine. Just open your eyes and you will see it. Oil it for real, cause he has no limit.
No. Connor has no limit. No. Connor has no limit.
Remember that name.
Remember that name indeed. Connor McDavid, number 23 on the season, burying the juicy rebound for sport ball. Put your kids in sport ball today, www.sportball.ca. Many of you have been like, I don't even know what sport ball is. Well, check it out. It's an amazing program for young kids and kids as they continue to grow. All right, let's get into our good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. Lieutenant Eric, let's start with you, buddy. What was your good from the weekend?
Well, I had one cemented here, but news, as it does on this show, flies in, and we're getting multiple reports that Atif and his sledge hockey team went 3-0 in their tournament down in Nashville this weekend.
Shall we hit it? Congratulations, Atif, my man. You go show those Americans what Canadian sledge hockey teams are made of. Did your whistle finally die?
Final conch.
Sorry,
on
we got
big
more.
Win.
We got more.
No,
we got more.
It's fine. It's fitting that it went on Atif's.
We got to order more of these too. We need about 100 of these kicking around the office just in case. Mr. Lean.
Hit me.
Mr. Lean. Good catch. Blow it, sir.
Whoa. Hey.
That's nice. A fresh
We're
one.
back, baby.
Fresh one like that.
But my original good was, Zachary Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins pushing somebody out of distress, out of the snow there, which kind of jealous. I haven't gotten to do yet. You're usually good for one push per season, I like to think, whether it's my wife and I or me myself or I've yet to see somebody in distress, which is a good thing.
I did drive by somebody the other day in distress, but there was already 3 cars pulled over helping. So I was just like, I hesitated. I was like, I'm just going to get in the way there.
Well, and with a big truck comes big responsibility now. You are now a guy that people
I don't even
look
have
to.
a winch. What am I supposed to do? I don't even have a winch. I'd probably just have like somebody hang over the tailgate and hold on to the other car.
Park your truck, turn it off, and you go pull it out with your bare hands.
Yeah. Listen, you can use my truck. I don't know how to use it to pull something, but I know there's a button you push for when you're towing something. I guess I'd push that button.
You should go get a tow rope from Princess Auto down the road. Just have it in your
get
vehicle.
a
Just
tow
always
rope.
have one. I think I have one in my
Does
car.
anybody here have a tow rope? Yes, I do.
It's always good to have.
It'd be nice.
Especially like I have one in my car just in case I need it. Like,
what's your car gonna tow though?
no, so if I'm stuck, somebody I could always give to someone and tow me out,
So
right?
you carry a tow rope around?
In
Man,
the back
you
of
were
my,
prepared.
in
I
the
love
back
it.
of my trunk. You never know.
My dad
but
would
I
love
feel
you.
like
Like-
I feel like when you have a truck, that's almost like a responsibility you need, though.
Yeah, that's true. I
I think you need it because you just never know. You got to be the hero so many times.
Exactly, yeah.
You get a drop. Oh,
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I'll save you.
I don't know where to tie the tow rope to the truck to tow somebody.
Next time HR Daddy comes, learn from him.
I don't know if he does either.
As long as you're supplying the goods, somebody else.
Then maybe Grumpy Cat or one of our many listeners that have trucks could come and show you.
Yeah, maybe.
Tutorial in the parking lot.
For a bunch of people.
Yeah, if you want to know how to put a tow rope on your truck.
How about that?
We could do weekly seminars on the truck.
Yeah, weekend afternoons here at EST.
I'd learn a lot.
Do 4x4 one week,
have a car
towing
wash.
the next week. All sorts of different things.
That's a good one. My good from the weekend is I was at, I can't remember which one of the kids, they both had 2 ice times this week, but I was at one of the rinks, and a listener who's a dad and a coach, I'm walking past, I'm like, hey, man, what's up? He goes, hey, he goes, any feedback? Any feedback on the Cavis Reed Pump Up song from YouTube? And I said, it's funny because Saturday night I went on our YouTube channel just kind of check on things, and it got noted, but also next to it it said no impact on show.
Wow.
And when I saw no impact on show for the Cavis Reed Pump Up song that we played on Friday, and even the dad I was talking to, he goes, you were really nervous. I said I was nervous. He goes, you're like the only one. I said, yeah, I know, but I was nervous. But we got the no impact on show.
That's a
note.
big green light. That's a flashing
green
green
light. I feel like we can play a Cavis Reed Pump Up song again. So that's huge news.
Eyes.
Huge news. Eyes remix?
Eyes.
We run back Eyes remix at some point today? Why not?
No guests. Everybody's too sick. I think today would be a day to
I'm pretty excited about this.
flex a bit more.
I'm pretty excited about this. 780-218-9999. Tube Socks is in and says, I can absolutely see Dusty ripping his bumper off the first time he tries to pull someone out of the snow. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's what would happen with me. Had to have been the case. All right, you're bad from the weekend.
Formula One. I think
it was good to have it back.
It could have been my good last weekend for having Formula One back, the season back. Now it's bad because it's back, and we all kind of know what happened. You mentioned, it's funny, winning by 10 seconds last year, extending his win, Max Verstappen, now by up to 20 seconds now, winning the Bahrain Grand Prix. Again, I mentioned to you guys I missed the preamble, which is really all I really watched racing for. Just kind of, again, left me feeling bad. Checo finishing second. That's a Red Bull 1-2. I mean, it's happening again, isn't it?
Oh, it looks like it. I read an interesting article from F1 Planet after the race. I don't read a lot.
Do you subscribe to the magazine?
No. I just popped up on my Twitter feed. Okay. So I clicked on it, and I read the majority of this article. Usually I bail on an article partway through. I'm like, I've got what I need.
Sure.
But it talked about why has F1 not done anything to slow down the Red Bull. Lewis went on that great run with Mercedes, but 2 years into it, they were modifying, they were changing things. And it was an interesting article just on the history of Formula One. And when somebody does get so much more dominant, they seem to do a lot of things to try to slow them down and bring them back to the rest of the pack. And it just hasn't happened yet. So we'll see how that continues to move forward. But it was a good article. It was a pretty good article. Oh, I thought you were reaching for your mic, Matty. I thought you were going to chime in on something. Oh, that's okay.
No, but I could say that you see that Red Bull apparently is going to have some upgrades for Imola, the Italian race, to take this better. They think that it's going to go even better. And people are going like, what, are you going to the moon or something with this car now? Like, they have some planned upgrades.
I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Hey, this is why Ferrari became our team this year. It wasn't about this season. It was about next year. Can Ferrari keep it relatively close? And then next year when Lewis gets in the car, we see what happens. Also, someone just needs to run Max.
Well, the EST-GP will save the season now. That's kind of your...
I'm working on that.
That's the light.
I tried sending an email this weekend, but it didn't go through. So I got to try something else today. But I did work on that on Saturday while I was here.
Yeah, how much work did you put in on Saturday around here?
I was here for about 5 hours or so.
A little overtime.
Probably good 3.5 hours was actual work. The other hour and a half was talking to Tommy Gager
and everybody hanging out.
And Corey B, who came by, and
the whole
Trev.
place is popping on Saturday.
It was a great time. It really was. You guys missed out on a fun little afternoon.
My bad is Jesse Puljujarvi not getting in the lineup for the Pittsburgh Penguins yesterday.
Yeah, you were waiting for that. They had the montage ready to go.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but
just push play.
Hey, that's the lineup you dressed? Come on. Ugly. What's your ugly from the weekend?
Soccer talk. Earmuffs.
Hey, we hit over 100 likes. It's not supposed to happen.
The Bundesliga, which is the German league that Alphonso Davies plays in, Edmontonian. Their bottom club, Darmstadt, like bottom of the table, bottom of the league, they lost 6-0 at home At full time, one of the club's ultras, so one of their fans, like the leader fan, they do the clapping and the singing, those types of guys. He went onto the pitch, onto the field.
Of course.
And addressed and totally dressed down the entire team. And I've tweeted video of that. Imagine this. Okay, and I'm going to put this into perspective here. Oilers, you're throwing a jersey on the ice or whatever. Imagine, though, you get torched 6-0 at home. You're bottom of the... And then a fan scales the glass, gets on the ice, and holds court with the roster. For not just 30 seconds. I'm talking upwards of 5, up to 7 minutes, perhaps.
What? Nobody stopped? Nobody stopped him?
The team was right there. They were. I mean, when you lose like this, and the guy was very animated, and all the fans are watching on. I guess as a player at that point, or trainer, or manager, whomever, there's a crowd of people there. You just got to stop and listen. So Maddie's pulling up the video there. It's very entertaining. I mean, you get what you get over the past minute or two, but he just goes on. He berates them, and they just stand there and they take their medicine. It's something else. Very refreshing.
How are you allowed to just do that? Like,
they're ultras, man. They run the club. Like it's quite something.
Soccer's insane.
It's awesome. Like
I think Maddie is trying to grab the video for this, so I'm gonna get to My Ugly, then we can circle back around to it. Yeah. My Ugly is Jake Paul. First of all, the outfit he was wearing was ugly.
Oh, that's
it. Start there. But he fought a guy who's had one fight since 2018. And they try to make a big deal of it. It's like Jake Paul gets another first-round KO.
Was that Butterbean?
He fought Ryan Borland, who has had one fight since 2018. It happened in 2022. And you go watch the fight. Like, this dude should not be in the ring. It was unbelievable. I mean, fight somebody.
This is sick.
Fight somebody. Why are you fighting dudes who have one fight in the last 6 years and thinking that like you're going to legitimize yourself by doing this? It just doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. None. And it keeps popping up. I don't know if that must have been on the For You page. You know, on Twitter, you got the For You or the following.
You always get the
I hate how it always puts me straight to the For You. And then I'm scrolling through it and I go, what the hell is this? I don't follow this. And then sure enough, I look and I'm on the For You. It's being forced down my throat instead of the following. But I mean, I don't know. Why wouldn't he? I mean, will nobody legit fight this guy? Is that what it is?
Maybe he sent out invites.
Maybe that's what it is.
Nobody responds.
Maybe that's what's going on here. Maddie, is that the guy? That's a fan technically?
And intensely dresses them down, like hammers them. And they take it all in. They take their pills. It's quite something.
But we're just security's like this has to happen type of thing. Like
they run they're running the shop there. Yeah.
This is mid-game.
After the game.
Oh,
after the game. They lost 6-0 at home. So like just total embarrassment.
After the game, a fan comes out.
Yeah.
And just tears the team apart. Tears
a strip out of them.
It's just okay. Let's say, are we good to go? Let's watch this thing here. Let's try it briefly.
Well, there you go. You
congratulations, even though we did hammer the over 100 thumbs up.
I didn't talk soccer.
No, you didn't talk soccer.
It was I would talk soccer.
That's a good thing. We got more deadline day talk coming up. That's going to happen here. Let's get to a sports rewind for Universal Rewind with Lieutenant Eric on the other way. There's only one question. There's only one question that really matters for Ken Holland and the Edmonton Oilers prior to the deadline this week. We will get to, I don't know why I'm pointing so much like this, but.
Because now
I'm very fired up about it. Maybe that's what it was. I'm so, there's only one question that matters. We'll get to that coming up here just after 7 o'clock this morning. Right now, a sports rewind with Lieutenant Eric.
Calvin Pickard improving to 8-3. Connor McDavid a goal and an assist. Zach Hyman scoring twice while Leon Draisaitl added 3 helpers. The Oilers have now won 4 straight following a 6-1 win over the Penguins. Edmonton will embark on a 4-game road trip beginning tomorrow in Boston. Other action yesterday, Canucks over the Ducks 2-1. Kings dumped the Devils 5-1 and the Jets over Buffalo 5-2. 6 games around the NHL later tonight. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 35 as the West leading Thunder eclipsed the Suns 118-110 in NBA action. Raptors bouncing Charlotte as well, 111-106. The Thunder will host the Lakers tonight, one of 6 games. Raptors back in action tomorrow when they host the Pelicans. PWHL from yesterday, Minnesota shutting out New York 2-0. Action resumes tomorrow night. Over to the Montana's Briar down in Regina. A busy Monday for Alberta rinks. The Sluchinski rink will take on Nova Scotia while Kevin Cooey faces Quebec in the morning draw. This afternoon, Brendan Botcher is up against Northern Ontario, while tonight, Sluchinski battles PEI, while it's Team Cooey up against Brad Gushu's Team Canada. Sports update brought to you by Universal Rewind, reminding you that regular motor maintenance will prevent costly downtime. Contact them today to learn more about their motor maintenance services. Choose experience, expertise, and quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
Aunts told me that I had got to grow the facial hair that make me look fine. He was looking super cool, the ladies, man, how they drool at the shape of a U on his jawline. Well, you look amazing cause you just stopped shaving. The chicks line up so you're always dating. Doesn't make sense to have a full beard. You think it looks cool but it just looks weird. So much to do, so much to win. So grow it ear to ear around your chin. You'll never know if it will grow. So don't shave and just let it go. Hey now, grow a chin strap. Get that hair on your face. Hey now, grow a chin strap. Coolest dude in the place. And now that we are in March, let's all come together and celebrate Charge. It's a cool look, and as you get older, your chin stays warm and your life gets bolder. Hashtag Charge if you're on Twitter. Nelson had a chin strap in his wedding pictures. If you want, you shave it pretty thin. People use their eyes to be staring at your chin. My strap's straight fire, how about yours? You're just so popular you never get bored. Hey now, grow a chin strap. Get that hair on your face. Hey now, grow a chin strap. Coolest dude in the place. And now that we are in March, let's all come together and celebrate Charge.
708 Nielson Show songs brought to you by Sport Ball. Sign your kids up for Sport Ball today. Rip City Step over in the Nasty Chat says, so LeBron hitting 40,000 wasn't Dusty's good? I lost $20. Yeah, I watched that Saturday night with the family. We were having a show supper, as we like to call it, and the kids wanted to watch Bluey, which I'm totally fine with. Sure. But LeBron was about 7 points away, and I was like, I said to Tam, I said, you know what? Just record it. I'd like to watch it live, but just record it. And she goes, no, we'll watch it live with you. So then he hit a 3, pulled within 4 of 40,000, and then he went off for his regular end of the first quarter type of break. So I knew he'd be out for a little bit. So I was like, let's mix in a Bluey. Sure. So we watched a quick Bluey. We watched Bluey. I think even you would enjoy Bluey. I know you don't have kids, but Bluey hits, man. Bluey slaps, as they say. So we watched the Bluey. Then we got back, and he had just come back on second quarter, and we watched him hit 40,000. Then I hop on Twitter. I'm like, the greatest of all time hits 40,000. And then you go look at the replies. There's just a bunch of people being like, yeah, well, how many titles did Jordan win? Yep. And it's just like, man, Robert Horry won 7. Calm down. So yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time on it today because I just don't want this show to go off the rails with me yelling at a bunch of MJ stans.
Well, look, without a guest right now at the 7 o'clock, now is the time to do it. I mean, you have a little window now.
No. We got that big deadline question.
You got I Want to Hear riding in tow. This is I'm glad you got to do that, though, with your family in a little Blue.
It was good. We watched it
evening,
when he spun to the left hand.
Emotional, magical.
Did you know LeBron is left-handed? 40,000 points shooting the ball with his right hand. But he's actually left-handed.
King's got to be ambidextrous, eh? That's what a good king
Boom.
is. Yeah, you put it on with both hands. Not
Boom.
Just one.
What do you think of that? What do you think about that? Not only that, but he also has a better field goal percentage all the time than Michael Jordan too, which kind of stings a little bit. But I don't need to. I don't need to get into that. We don't need to get into that. And he took 4 shots less per game than MJ, but that's okay. Let's just move along. And he didn't retire twice and quit on his team. That's fine. Let's just move along here today. We have to continue with things here. This morning. 780-218-9999. 780-218. Don't even turn on your mic!
You can't pull that one. No, I'm sorry. You can't pull that one out there when MJ quit on his team twice. LeBron left 3 teams. He left the Cavs to go to Miami. He left Miami to go back to the Cavs. He left the Cavs to go to Lakers. Like, I'm sorry.
He didn't retire.
No, but you're saying he quit on his team. Well, LeBron left his teams 3 times. I'm sorry.
People leave teams all the time. People don't retire and then come back.
You left your team.
Year and a half later.
You left your team.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That one I have to. I can't let that one slide.
Disagree.
That's fair, but I can't let this one because that's the argument against LeBron is that he's left his teams.
You just said it, though. That's the argument against LeBron. Nobody says anything about Jordan quitting on the Bulls. Thank you.
You do.
Let's just move on. Yeah, I do. Why isn't anybody else? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Not today. We got the big deadline question today. It's deadline week. If we get 200 thumbs up, I will mention LeBron again for the rest of the show. Let's go there on YouTube. Let's go into this. 780-218-9999. Jasmine is in. Jasmine gets it. Hashtag Association City. Letting the haters win. It's 40,000 points. Just witness history, right? That's what you did.
Yeah.
Appreciate the greatness. Okay? That's all we're saying. All right. We got the deadline coming up. Darren Dreger was scheduled to join us. Rashad was scheduled to join us. They're both sick.
They got the deadline flu. What you gonna do?
What say you? The deadline flew. So Dregs just let us know this morning. Shoggy texted us last night. Darren Dreger and all of our hockey insiders, usually brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Our big deadline question of the day today will be brought to you by Pro-Am Sports this morning. And they've got 2 more signings just sitting there waiting for you. Dylan Holloway, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is digging people out of the snow. You know what this is going to come out? Like, this is one of those stories that continues to, just this time goes on, it gets greater and greater. And it's not going to just be Hyman and Nuge, pulling over to help somebody get their car to the snow. It's going to be, did you remember that time Nuge was heli skiing and he went by somebody who'd been buried by an avalanche?
In his suit.
And he spent 3 weeks digging down to save this guy. And when he got there, the man was dead. But he gave him CPR and brought him back to life. That's where the story's going to end up being.
Post-hockey career at EM Utility, locating for one Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and or Zach Hyman if he wants it, right? Adding on to an award-winning staff there and locating people and things and everything else.
That's true. These guys help you locate. www.proamsports.ca to get in on the Holloway or the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins signing. They will sign your items. You can find items that Pro-Am already has there for you. It's good stuff over at Pro-Am. So we said earlier on the show today, and it is deadline week, deadline day coverage, Nielson Show 3 hours, Hangout 2 hours, Oil Stream 3 hours, taking you up and past the deadline on trade deadline day. Engager's going to be with us?
I talked to him Saturday. He's going to come in. He said, I was like, hey, do you think you can come in on Friday? He's like, I already booked the day off. I was like, okay. So he's going to be in for part of that.
Of course he has.
We'll all be hands on deck, and we'll definitely be on to make sure that we also carry always the GM speak. So once Ken Holland speaks, we will carry that to you live right here in Edmonton Sports Talk. So that we will have you fully covered, just like we used to do at the old place.
It's gonna be exciting. We are looking forward to that one. We said earlier on the show, deadline day, they gotta deliver some level of defenseman, some level of forward. The question is, can you afford to financially and from an asset management perspective deliver the top 6 forward that people want and to deliver the upgrade on Cody Ceci that people want? That's the ultimate euphoric trade deadline for Ken Holland, is it not?
Carrier and Vetrano. How do you make it happen?
Yeah, that would be low end really good. That would be a low end really good pickup. You bring in Carrier on the back end, not the forward out of Vegas and some of you, the defenseman out of Nashville. Yeah. And then, Vetrano was number 10 on the list.
You had him.
I had him number 10 on the list. Yeah. 2 guys from the list.
He's 7 now, and Buchnevich is 10 on the TSN trade bait. Vetrano 7, Tarasenko 6.
When's this one updated?
March 1.
Okay, last one I looked at was February 28th.
Do you want this thing
I guess
here?
that one has Tanev's off that one then.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, because the last one last week, Tanev was number 2. And
1 down to 10.
Can't give it to us.
Hanifin, Gensel.
Probably not going to happen.
Henrique.
Could happen.
Yeah. Edmonton's first at that 4 spot.
Wow. The Edmonton's first is as high as 4 now?
Yeah.
I love it.
Sean Walker at 5, Tarasenko 6, Vetrano 7, Dumba 8, Jacob Markstrom 9, and Pavel Buchnevich rounding up the top 10 on the TSN.
Take me 5 through 10 again.
5 through 10, Sean Walker, Tarasenko, Vetrano, Dumba, Markstrom, Buchnevich. Toffoli at number 11.
I think Toffoli's still at 11 on there.
Yeah.
If the Oilers were to land Vetrano, who is at a reasonable number and has term for next year.
And putting up some good numbers.
And is a top 6 shooter, And then Carrier, who I would view as a pretty good upgrade on Cody Ceci. That might be debatable amongst, stats folks. I'm not sure, but I think he would be an upgrade. That'd be a good deadline. Can they afford it financially? That one they probably can. If you're looking and maybe a little bit higher up, it might be a little bit more difficult. But, you retain here, you continue to accrue that cap space heading up to the deadline. Possibly you maybe have to move somebody out, but, if you're trying to upgrade things, that's what you do. Do you think they can pull this off? Like, what would be your level of faith in Ken Holland and Jeff Jackson and Paul Coffey pulling this thing off? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Can they land CC upgrade top 6 winger? I'm going to lean towards probably not. I think you get one or the other. Like, if you get CC upgrade, you're probably settling for like Dowd or something, or some sort of bottom 6 forward. If you land the top 6 guy, you're probably settling for the 7th defenseman, unless you just believe that's going to be Broberg and you go into this playoff with this blue line. I'd be a little nervous about that. But can they pull off the ultimate, which would be, I know some of you might say, well, what they really need is top 6 forward and a bottom 6 forward and one defenseman. That's going to be really tough to do. That's just going to be tough to do for any team. That's not even like a whole, the Oilers never get anything done thing.
Perfect team, perfect world scenario there.
So what say you on this one? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
Now, I mentioned Vetrano and Carrier as an example going off your list that you gave us last Friday. Now, people also in the nasty chat, and fairly so. I mean, Nashville are in the thick of a race now, playing some great hockey, winners of 8 straight. They're occupying a wild card spot. If not
That's up to 8 now? They won again on the weekend? They're at 8?
Yeah,
wow.
8-2 in their last 10. Tied on points with the Kings now. The Kings do have 2 games in hand, but both teams 7 points up on the Flames and Blues. So, I mean, if not Carrier there, or maybe you make it a little more interesting for Nashville. But just using those names as examples, I guess if not him on the back end, whom would you look to then?
Well, this section says Carrier and Walker are not upgrades on CC, especially considering you'll need to give up a first. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to necessarily move a first on the defensive side of things. I would politely disagree that, like, I think CC and Kulak. I thought CC and Kulak were good last night.
Yeah.
That was a weird goal. They were on the ice for the goal against, but it was a weird goal.
So I guess to answer your question, you'd more look at that forward grouping than the defense if you're going to add something.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Okay. I think I'm torn on that one still, because we say it all the time. Love Desharnais. But in a playoff series against a legitimate Stanley Cup contender and not Seattle and or Pittsburgh, can Desharnais handle top 4 minutes? And I don't think he can in the playoffs. So I like their offense. I do. Getting that top 6 forward, Buchnevich was at the top of my list. He'd be great. This year, next year, it'd be great. But I still think when you get to the postseason, if/when they get eliminated, we won't be saying it's because of lack of goals. We'll probably be saying it's because of some breakdowns in the defensive group, not to mention that they've been pretty much perfectly healthy the entire season, which maybe that continues. If it doesn't, they're really in trouble. So I think I'd still lean towards the upgrade on D prior to the top 6 forward, but yeah.
EH text sends 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox. Vetrano and Carrier deadline day would be a major fail. McDiesel in the nasty
What are you
chat.
expecting on deadline day?
Well, I
said, if you can bring in what are you talking?
I asked the question, who or what would make it a success, and explain your answer.
Let me guess.
I failed to get a
Gensel
response.
and Parayko.
Well,
come on.
Yeah, we're kind of.
You have to have some realistic expectations here.
I just know why it'd be a major fail, as to this texter points out. But McDiesel counters in the nasty chat. Vetrano is great player. I like him, skilled and gets in tough areas. And again, the numbers and the money, I think is quite a realistic scenario there with that type of player. But
both of those defensemen that get talked about, Carrier and Walker, are both on teams that are also going to the playoffs.
Yeah. One above a wild card spot, as we mentioned. The Flyers.
Yeah, the Flyers are still lurking around top 3 in their division. So it surprises me still a little bit that these guys are so high on these trade bait boards, because it's going to be, you're going to have to pay something pretty significant, I think, to get your hands on these guys and convince their teams to be like, okay, we can get by without them. And if they can get by without them, then how good are they in the first place? Yeah. So
RSO Cody chimes in, 780-218-9999. They need 4 lines. I'd rather they go get a 7th D-man and or a 1-2 bottom 6 forward. Can't strip the cupboards bare getting more offense. Comes in from RSO Cody this morning.
780-218-9999 in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Zulu's in it, says, no time for Toffoli. Everything would be overpayment. I think Toffoli would be a pretty nice ad. I would say, what are the odds that no matter what Ken Holland does, it's viewed as an overpayment?
Yeah.
Well, that's usually how it is in the market.
And it'll be a fail. Like, whatever he goes out,
well, unless he lands Gensel or Buchnevich,
right,
people will view the deadline probably, not all of you, but but some of you may just view the deadline as a fail at that point anyway. Honest Andy's in it, says, you can't get rid of Cisse. They need a right shot 7th D. Can't possibly expect Vinny to play top 4 minutes in the playoffs.
No.
Well, the only way the only reason you'd be getting rid of Cisse is if you're bringing somebody else in that you think can play top 4 minutes alongside Darnell Nurse. In a perfect world, you keep Cody Cisse and you add a veteran defenseman that you could almost, if need be, put on the same level as Cisse and Desharnais and that guy you can mix in. But defensemen are tough to find. This is why it was so ridiculous a couple of weeks ago when people were like, the Oilers might move out a defenseman to make room for a forward. What the hell are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. They need as many defensemen as they can possibly get their hands on. So that doesn't seem to fit well with me either. What an interesting, I love deadline week. It's a very interesting week, man. I'm excited for this week. And I really don't want them to make a trade till Friday. If they pull off the Wednesday trade, I'm going to be pissed. We want Friday trade at 11:30.
Well, and the old hitting the road for that road trip too, hey? Week of deadline week, like way out east.
On the road, out east.
You don't know what's happening.
The trades out there are happening in the future,
right? Like
it's so different. Let's see here. What else do we got? The Nasty Chat is hopping over here today as well. Zulu says Tarasenko and a 7th defenseman would be a great deadline.
There's Tarasenko popping up now.
I would agree with that. It does depend on the price, but do not text into this station this week and be like, 2025 first is off the table. Like, you can't move that. Don't move your first round pick this year. That's nuts. Like, you either want them to go all in and win a Stanley Cup, or what's the other option here? Lose again in the playoffs? Awesome. Great. Now you can go draft somebody in 2025 in the first round and have it not impact your club until Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are like midway through their next contract.
Although the flip side to
Are you going to argue keep powder dry?
No, not necessarily keep powder dry, but
You're
the idea of,
sick puppy.
let's say Ken Holland goes out and gets a bottom 6 and a 7th defenseman. That shouldn't cost you a first.
I sure hope not.
It shouldn't cost you a first. So I'm okay then if that's what Ken Holland does and moves forward with this team going into next year, because sometimes when you do make that bigger move, it could mess with chemistry of the team. There's no guarantee that going to bring in a Tarasenko or something is going to give this team a Stanley Cup, right? And maybe you could sit there if you're an organization and go, you want to know something? We're going to add depth to this team. We're going to add the defense depth. Like me and Gage threw it last week. Like a Jason Strudwick would be perfect for this team right now. A guy
Jason Strudwick's perfect for anybody and any time.
Right, but like if you could go find a Jason Strudwick right now, that'd be great. If you got that bottom 6 player, great. If you don't feel like there's just that, you don't want to mess with the chemistry of your higher up necessarily. And I wouldn't be furious with Ken Holland if that's what happens by the end of Friday.
Saying don't move the picks.
No.
You're just saying you'd be okay with this.
Yeah,
view
like
of it. That's
look,
a little bit
you
different
got to
than what
try
I
to
was saying.
find. I wouldn't trade both firsts this year. I won't be giving up the 2024, 2025 trade.
And you had somebody with term, I'd do it. Only with term.
Term, yeah.
Only with term. Like if it requires to get Buchnevich done, I would give up 2 firsts to get Pavel Buchnevich for this playoff run and next playoff run. Because if not, you're just going to try to use that first for a guy like him next year.
But you do need assets
Only
at some
term,
point.
though.
Like this isn't. You're going to keep Leon and McDavid, and then over time, like what are the assets to keep adding at the deadline? if you keep trading away all your prospects and all your picks. At some point, you got to restock a little bit so that you can keep doing this in the future, I guess.
I say
you give up 24. You give 24, 25 this year, then next year at the deadline, what are you giving up when everyone's you got to go all in?
Well, at that point, if you get somebody with term, you don't need another top 6 forward.
Oh, no one's going to say that. Everyone's going to be like, you got to make some sort of move and you got to do something.
Well, if people weren't crazy, I mean that makes sense. If you get a guy with term this year who can play in your top 6 next year, you won't require the first round pick next year. Plus, they're probably going to be kind of up against it with the cap again, so they probably won't have enough. I don't know how I'm going to come in after the deadline and be like, they pay too much. I don't think I'll ever say that this year about anything that they do. I might end up being a huge hypocrite at 105 on Friday, but I am totally on board with moving whatever it takes to get the pieces to make a push this year and preferably next.
Flip side is they have the pieces to make that push this year.
They don't. I don't think they do. I mean, they could make up. They'll make a right now. I do think they could make it too. Well, they're one of
the team that
they're one of
the top favorites. 100%.
6 or 7 teams who could win the Stanley Cup.
So who's the team that scares you the most if you're the Edmonton Oilers?
Well, I think right now, I this is like sitting on a fence, but to me, we can't answer any of this till after the deadline.
But as of today, like everyone, no GM could figure that out. They're trying to guess also what other teams are going to potentially do. As of right now, what team do you think scares the Edmonton Oilers the most? If you're Ken Holland, what team are you looking at being like, that's the roadblock we have to get past? We're not good enough to beat them. And with that team, what's the difference maker for you?
Well,
because like one of the big things for me would be somewhat goaltending, but they're not touching goaltending.
Yeah, they're not touching goaltending. I would still worry about Colorado.
Okay, so what's
Cale, Cale Makar? Nothing against.
So what's out there that could
guys,
make the Oilers better to be Colorado?
Well, you just improve your team overall in general, right? Like you just try to get these pieces to improve the team overall, so that McKinnon, if he gets out there against Nurse and Cece as opposed to Nurse and somebody else, maybe is less likely to score. You know,
but that's where for me, then I could live with just depth pieces because this team is good enough to go beat them in my mind, in a sense. And I could see Ken Holland sitting there going, I don't think he's actually thinking this, but I could.
But can you approach the playoffs with a maybe?
And go with a. If I bring someone in, it might mess with the chemistry and it might actually go the other way a little bit.
Well, then that's on you as an organization to find somebody that you don't think will mess with the chemistry. We got 5 more days.
I think
of
this team is good enough.
I
think this team is good enough, and I believe that if they beat the Vegas Golden Knights, if they meet them, that's the only roadblock. They'll go.
That's the only roadblock.
If they get past the Golden Knights, that's the one thing. They'll go win the cup easily.
Holy smokes! Easily? Did you just say easily?
Yeah. No, I believe that will be the thing that carries them momentum-wise and stuff.
I'm not even sure they're going to play Vegas in the first round.
And then that makes it even easier. Well, like even if it's the second round, makes it even easier for the team.
So you just said.
They're
if
good.
They beat Vegas, they'll easily win the Stanley Cup.
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Man, I hope we get to circle back around to this and be like, Matthew Iwanek was right.
Yes.
The Oilers very easily won the Stanley Cup. Let's get to our cool bet hotline of the day. Then we'll get to a sports update. Then we'll get to I says pardon. And that's a good coming up here in this hour as well. What a fascinating 30-minute discussion that was about the deadline. What say you?
The wrapping up of it was...
Yeah, I mean, we went from like upgrade
CC
to if they beat Vegas, they're going to win the Stanley Cup easily. This is from a guy who thinks Aiden Hill is the modern-day Patrick Waugh.
Because they got past Aiden Hill.
Mr. Lean, what are you looking at today over at
Before I do that, 2 pieces of news that have come down. Mike Evans and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have signed a 2-year, $52 million extension, so he won't go to free agency. And Pat Gregoire of CoolBet tweeting you and Huss going, Shane Lowry is getting real close to the suspended list after this performance.
Did he fall apart?
He just birdied recently, but he's +1 on the day. He's 5 back. Of the leader. So he had 2 bogeys on the front 9. He's gone birdie, bogey, birdie to start his back 9, but you'll get more into that Later today on the Lock Shop, for me with the lean, Premier League today. I was looking at the Brier. I don't like anything coming up in the second draw of the day, and they don't have lines yet for later tonight. Arsenal, Sheffield United. If you go back through Arsenal's Premier League matches throughout the month of February, they've put up 4 goals, 5 goals, 6 goals, 3 goals. You go back to January, 2 goals, 5 goals. 5 of their 6 matches in the Premier League, of their last 6 matches, they've scored 3 or more goals. Arsenal total goals over 2.5 is minus 124. That's a nice little number there. If you want to get real crazy, scoring over 3 goals, which they have done 3 of their last 4 matches. In fact, they've done it in their last 3 matches. That's at plus 140. But my lean would be minus 124. Arsenal total goals over 2.5.
All right, there we go. We got that soccer talk in. Well done. It's allowed during the Cool Bet hotline of the day.
Just a lean.
Yeah, just a lean.
It's just a lean.
It's not an official pick. It is just a lean. As for the Cool Bet hotline of the day today, what do we do? What do we do here? What do we do? Let's go Bruins and Maple Leafs over 6 goals tonight at minus 115.
Let's go.
Bruins and Leafs over 6 goals tonight at minus 115. That'll be your Cool Bet hotline of the day. Coming up, I says pardon. We'll get into that. And that's a good for Italian Center Shop. We got something delicious that we're going to dive into today. That'll happen around 7:45 this morning. Right now, let's get to a sports update for the great staff at Park Mazda with LT.
Oilers have won 4 straight following a 6-1 win over the Penguins. The club will embark on a 4-game road trip beginning tomorrow in Boston. Action yesterday saw the Canucks beat the Ducks 2-1. Kings dumped the Devils 5-1. And Winnipeg over Buffalo 5-2. 6 games around the NHL tonight. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and wide receiver Mike Evans agreeing on a 2-year, $52 million extension this morning. That includes $35 million in guaranteed money. Formula One news, Alpine's technical director Matt Harmon and head of aerodynamics Dirk De Beer both resigning today, just one race into the season.
That's classic.
The announcement comes after both cars finished well out of the points at the season-opening Bahrain Grand Prix Saturday. Esteban Ocon finished a lap down in 17th, just ahead of Pierre Gasly in 18th. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander poured in 35 as the West-leading Thunder eclipsed the Suns 118-110. The Thunder host the Lakers tonight in one of 6 games. The Raptors will host the Pelicans tomorrow. And a busy Monday at the Brier from Regina. The Alberta rinks will get going this morning. Team Slachinski will take on Nova Scotia while Kevin Cooey battles Quebec. This afternoon, Brendan Bottcher goes up against Northern Ontario. Team Slachinski back on the Pebble this evening as they go up against PEI, while it's Team Cooey up against Brad Gushu's Team Canada as well in the evening draw. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and Team Principal Mitch Lewicki, where he's already thrown his hat into the Alpine Technical Director job opening.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Dusty and Eric and all of the bad cats. Like Brzezinski and Noodles, Gadget and Gage. Maybe just but a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Sharky's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat left the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the Canes? Macramella, Rapaport, Drager, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tails of the North. All about him given person, does he go for? What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh, what's going on? Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. We're coming at you from Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen studio today. Pick up that Popeye's chicken sandwich. You will not be disappointed. You can listen. If you're watching on YouTube, you have to head into work right away or whatever. Very easy to listen. Tell all your friends. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people are listening online at EdmontonSportsTalk.com or on iHeart or on TuneIn. Right, so you can get the TuneIn app. You can download the iHeartRadio app. Very easy. Just save us on there, and boom, you hop in, connect it to your vehicle on Bluetooth, and all of a sudden you got that sports entertainment on your way into work, on your drive, taking you in every single morning from 6 to 9. Nielson Show uninterrupted.
Listen to them all at once. Have them all playing all at once.
Yeah, that's good. That's real nice, yeah.
Teef chimes in. Good morning from Nashville, Tennessee.
There he is. Man, your Teef's getting really good.
Yeah.
You're getting really good at it.
I practice. The Oilers played awesome last night. Jake Gensel, future Oiler.
Oh, that's good.
My team, the Edmonton Storm Sledge hockey team, love you guys. Be at the Bridgestone Arena tomorrow night. Habs Preds. That comes in from Teef.
Teef just living the life, eh?
He's jet
the man in the chair just crushing
it.
I absolutely love it.
Good on you, Teef.
Congratulations. Yeah. That text comes into the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Go see our friends at PJ's, parisjewelers.com, where they got that flexible financing. You do not have to pay, if you don't need to, until 2025. I'm sure with the approvals and everything that need to get done there, but they'll take care of you over there as well. Text of the day today, going to win that gift certificate for A&W, where Ryan Rashog has provided you with an opportunity today. As Shoggy texts us, he's sick. He was in Saskatoon, and then he was on vacation. Now he's sick. What's his excuse next week to not join us on Monday? We're having some fun with this today. 780-218-9999. What does Rashog say he's up to next week so he can't join us next Monday? 780-218-9999.
Lunch is on Shog. Hey,
let
Ryan treat you.
Go get some spicy piri buddies with a great text, thanks to Ryan Rashog. All right, let us know what the latest will be. That'll be a fun one. That'll be a lot of fun. 780-218-9999. We got that's a good coming up for Italian Center Shop. Right now, though, let's get into I Says Pardon for LawyerCentral.com. Get a clean slate at an affordable rate. If you're paying for something you did a few years back because you have a record and you're just like, oh, it's probably too much of a hassle to get a pardon and stuff, they'll take care of it for you. Very simple. www.lawyercentral.com/pardons or call 1-888-288-8177 to find out more about getting pardoned. They do have lawyers across the country, and their lawyers don't just deal with pardons. They'll help you out with any legal issues that you do have. So if you're dealing with something, you need a little bit of advice, want somebody to take care of it for you, www.lawyer-central.com. So Max Verstappen's dad is going to be the focal point of I Says Pardon today.
Yeah, fill me in. I'm looking forward to this.
Well, Mr. Verstappen is threatening that if Christian Horner stays at Red Bull, Max Verstappen will not. Apparently, they're dangling this Toto Wolff Mercedes sort of carrot out there to get everybody fired up. The F1 has to be the most dramatic thing we've ever seen in our lives. Like, it's the first race. Alpines are now the Alpine car is an absolute train wreck.
Yeah,
so that doesn't surprise me. But we're one race in.
Tough
we
day
got
one.
people resigning from Alpine already. And then you've got Verstappen, who, with Horner, has built a juggernaut at Red Bull. And they are threatening. If Christian Horner's still there, Max Verstappen will not be. You're going to tell me if Red Bull goes, yeah, Horner's staying, Max Verstappen's going to leave that Red Bull car behind and go and drive at Mercedes, which has fallen off so much that Lewis Hamilton is leaving to go to Ferrari, a team that can't get out of their way? I says pardon? Come on, Verstappen. Like, you want a thread, you want to have this little dance with Toto and stuff. There's no way Verstappen would leave that Red Bull car. Is there?
Well,
it seems ridiculous.
You're a grown man, and Daddy's still going to, like, I think Max should he can make his own decisions, right? He's 26 years young. That would be you're getting figured out there in a sense, eh? Like you don't want to. If you're in a Red Bull car right now, you stay put in the Red Bull car that you're winning races by 20 seconds.
Checo finished second. I don't know. He's not even a top 5-6 driver in the circuit. In my opinion, I love Checo.
It's a threat, but it's rather empty. I mean, you would think, you'd hope for Max's sake.
I would think it is, or is Verstappen so good that he goes to Mercedes and takes that car to where the Red Bull is? I don't see that.
Turns out their driver's been pushing all the way down on the gas. He comes over and that's not what it's not like he's winning against strategy and tight races. It's an outstanding piece of machinery they've developed. I don't know why you would want to and for spite. You're doing this for spite?
You can't spite leave the best car on the circuit.
That's a lot of money. You're kind of.
Is this what we're going to have to deal with all year, though? Like, Verstappen's winning every race by 10 to 15 seconds.
Until
and they're
Yuki
still
Tsunoda
he
goes
might leave.
Multiple panes of glass somehow, or a.k.a. Darby Allin. Like, you need something like that to juice it up a bit.
Well, something else will pop up. That'll be ridiculous.
Yeah. But okay, we'll have these sidetrack stories. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine for them, but you can't in any world think that he would actually leave this vehicle.
Matty, do you think that ever happens?
I think there could be. You don't think they're arrogant enough? You don't think they're arrogant enough to go look at Toto Wolff and Mercedes and go, eventually they'll take step ups. If Red Bull doesn't have Max, they're beatable.
Max going to Mercedes would be great for the sport. Sure. I will say that. I don't believe it will happen for a second, but you put Max in the Mercedes car that's a little bit slower, and then I don't know who ends up sliding into Red Bull, but it could make the whole field very
I'll say this too. If Max left, do you think Perez is world champ driver?
Well, it would have to see who.
Or do you think that as of right now, who's going to take over that's better than Max? Like, Lewis isn't going, Charles isn't going. So, like, the people that would take over Red Bull next year could be Carlos Sainz.
I wonder if Carlos Sainz in that Red Bull car, I think he would be a championship contender.
That's the thing. You're not racing against Max in Red Bull if Max goes somewhere else.
That's why I said it would be good for the sport.
Right, so he's changed, so it doesn't matter. He can go win, if he goes to Mercedes. You don't think the Mercedes could beat a Ferrari? You don't think Max and Mercedes could potentially catch up to Perez or Sainz and Red Bull?
He would never win anymore.
Right,
but it wouldn't be as near as dominant.
Right, so for them, it's if they really don't like who they're working with, and Red Bull is like, we're sticking with Horner, and they're going, we don't want to be with Horner. It doesn't mean you're giving up world championships. It's going to be a little more challenging.
Yeah, but you're not going to be winning 18. Like, Verstappen wants to be the greatest of all time.
Okay, Max.
I don't think he sacrifices Red Bull because that would hurt him in that conversation.
Or that helps him in the conversation. You go leave Red Bull, that's dominating car. You go to Mercedes and you start winning with Mercedes. Elevates you. Lewis leaves and you come in and you take over his car and you win with that car when Lewis couldn't in the last couple of years. Elevates you. They're arrogant enough to do that. And also, you're then not going up against Max in the Red Bull. So you have every chance of still being a world champion.
Like, Max isn't going up against Max.
Exactly, right? Like, there's no one else that's going to take over that car that's going to be as dominant as Max in that car. I think Ferrari has a chance to beat Perez in a Red Bull. I think Ferrari has a chance to beat Sainz in a Red Bull. I think Mercedes would have a chance to beat those guys in a Red Bull. So Lewis goes to Ferrari, Max goes to Mercedes. Max could still be world champion next year. I don't think this is an empty threat. I think this is very much, they could do this.
I think it's an empty threat. I wish Verstappen's dad would stay out of it. But I would like to see Lewis and Max's car and Max and Lewis's car. Just to see.
For a day.
Just to see. Does Hamilton win by 12 seconds? By 20 seconds? Does Max end up finishing somewhere between 3rd and 7th?
I'll throw this out there.
I'd love to know.
If you're Red Bull, though, why would you go into this dance? What's more important, Max or Christian Horner?
Well, Max would be more important in that car.
Then get rid of Horner.
Yeah.
Do it.
But Horner. I mean, you have to give Horner some credit for what they built there, too.
Sure, but the reports are that Red Bull was ready to get rid of him at the beginning of February, and then something's changed, and now he's going to be there. Do you want to go through an entire year where Max is saying, or his dad, I might be leaving? Or do you not want to just squash this, get it over with?
I feel like it's empty threats on a couple of different levels because he's not going to leave, and Red Bull's not going to allow him to leave. So
the judge chimes in. Joaquin Gage 7802 and 899.99. Max is signed through 28. This is equivalent to saying Connor is leaving Edmonton for Toronto next year.
Woo!
So Coldwater, Splash.
Are we sure there's no out clauses in this or anything? I'm assuming there's some sort of clause.
Are you questioning the commission slash judge?
To the judge.
Well, I'm just kidding. I don't think his dad would throw these threats out there if they couldn't leave until 2028, because that's a really long time. There must be something that he can do. You know, otherwise, why are you talking to Toto?
It's 2024. That's 4 years.
Exactly.
We're not going to have to play this song and dance for 4 years, are we?
Unless there's some sort of outs that they know. If you're Red Bull, just get rid of Horner. Do it.
Where do you think Horner pops up? He would pop up somewhere.
I think he'd have to take a year off.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, maybe. I mean, I could see somebody bring him in as advisor right away with plans to mix him in a little bit more.
It's just the PR of bringing him in right away. Alpine.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen, if that was the situation. 780-218-9999. That is I Says Pardon, brought to you by Lawyer Central. Visit them, www.lawyer-central.com/pardons, or call 1-888-288-8177. Call 1-888-288-8177 with any of your legal issues that you have had to have been dealing with. Coming up in hour number 3, more of your text messages and more conversation, obviously, on the upcoming and looming trade deadline. As we start the week, the question for you is, what would you determine a successful trade deadline week? What is the bare minimum for you to say on Friday afternoon, this was successful? That's what we want to hear from today. 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox. 780-218-9999. John Team Victoria says, turns out Shaggy is anti-church. I love that one. Rashad should grow a chin strap, man. That'd be a good look. Sometimes they get that little bit of scruff going. He had a chin strap ready in 4 or 5 days. I think it will look absolutely amazing. I think that'd be really good. Senior Boots is in and says, Max winning in a Mercedes is just the challenge he needs and gets to stick it to Lewis. Yeah. It would be amazing drama. I mean, that's a season to watch on Drive to Survive 100%. I like that one. Lots of good text messages here on...
So there is an exit clause in his contract.
In his class?
I just Googled Max Verstappen contract. Says it's on until end of 2028, but he has a get-out contract. There is some sort of exit clauses in his contract.
All right, we've been waiting for this. Let's get to... Oh, this is exciting. We've been... obviously, we launched our relationship with Italian Center Shop 2 weeks ago, and we dove in to the panino, and it was absolutely delicious. But I'm very excited for this. The Italian Center... The cafe, it's known for its pizza, and now you can pick up your favorite pies to take and bake at home. It's their house-made dough, hand-stretched. You love a good hand-stretched dough. Loaded up with toppings, ready to pop into your oven, and in about 10 minutes, you'll have a hot and fresh, authentic Italian pizza to take home. Get a good close-up of these. We got the other ones there, too. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Look at those little pepperonis on there. That's so good. We're going to get... What you got some there, too?
Yeah, we got a...
Yeah. Oh, we got so many. So you can pop in. This is where we went yesterday. And you just pick up these pizzas and you throw them in the oven at home. And all of a sudden you're cooking with fire. Maddie, bring them over here. Let's just put them on the desk for now. Tommy's not in for a bit. There you go. Look at this right here. Boom. Just like that. Pick it up to go. Or you can go in and get the ones that are ready to roll. You go in. This is what we did yesterday. They hooked us up with a few that were already ready. So let's try this. Okay. Oh, look at this. Look at the cheese on this stuff. Oh, my goodness. Oh, look at the stretch. That's so good. You see a pull like that? Look at that. This pepperoni pizza is absolutely delicious. And they've got the peppers mixed in. Look at me. Boys, you never seen anything like this.
I'm telling you.
See this right here? That's a red pepper. Watch this. That's so good.
For those listening, Dusty ate the pepper.
I ate the pepper.
A vegetable. I'm telling you, this
it's nice.
pie,
It's just like slices of pepper on this pepperoni pizza. It makes sense.
Game changer, hey? Hell of a pie. Yeah,
This is so good.
Pre-made. You can order in.
You can slide in and get them. They're already cooked. They're ready to go.
You have a little glass of wine if you want.
You pick them up. So good. That's a good.
Boys, your skin and bones over there.
Hey, you want a slice, Tacticum? Put some meat on those bones. Don't
Here,
take the
give
one
it-
I'm already
give it-
eating.
yeah,
Take
yeah.
another piece of that. There you go. Get this guy. Maddie, you want a slice? He's going to have one after. Matt's going to have one after.
Confirmed.
We got another full pizza over there just waiting. Very good. And I'll tell you this. These ones, because these are the ones that were already baked that I got last night. This is excellent heated up. Holy smokes.
See, you're not even having it fresh.
I know. Oh, I had a slice fresh yesterday.
Okay, well, but there, like that's
on the way home. I did have a slice fresh yesterday.
But like,
And,
this is
it was
so
good.
good. Like, look at that stretch air CAD, and that's not even the day of.
Yeah, that's the second day
That's
stretch.
not even day of.
As Oily Sink points out, LT with 2 great pulls in less than a week with the Slavkovsky off Wayne.
Yeah, that's right, man. You're on fire right now.
Wow.
This guy's on fire. As we were leaving yesterday, Marshall and I popped by Italian Center Shop on the West End, South Side, and Little Italy, the other 2 locations.
There's also Sherwood Park.
And Sherwood Park.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And then there's they're opening up a second in Calgary, or they have 2 in Calgary. It's one or the other.
I was on the website last night looking at it.
Yeah, no, they're all over.
So we're leaving. Marshall comes in with me. We get the pizza. We're leaving. We're in the truck. We're driving away. And he goes, Daddy, when I get old, this is the best. Oh, God, I love this. He goes, Daddy, when I get older and I go to the bank and I get a debit card and I have money in my account to use the debit card, I'm going to Italian Center Shop. I was like, wow. Marshall turns 9 on Wednesday. He doesn't have a bank card yet. He's wanted one for about 3 years. But, yeah, the first thing he's going to do when he gets his debit card is go to Italian Center Shop. That's a good.
I do highly recommend the Little Italy one.
You do?
Oh, it's the original. All these other ones, they're beautiful, they're big, they're fantastic, but there's just a extra beauty to the OG on 95th.
Good news is there's a bunch of them that you can go to.
You walk in and it just
This pizza is
feels
bloody
right.
delicious.
Plus, you're in Little Italy, so it just makes more like.
I don't know what it is about these little pepperonis.
Look at this.
They
Look at that.
hit.
No, the pepperonis are great.
They hit. They're good. Okay, here's what I want to get into from that's good. LeBron James hitting 40,000 points over the weekend. I told you I was going to get to it at some point. I saved it. Well, somebody's like, I can't believe that it's not Dusty's good. Well, I mean, what's my good for the good, bad, and ugly? But it is the good for, that's a good. LeBron James, 40,000 career points. Take it from somebody like me who was very anti-Tom Brady for a long time. I was always Peyton Manning. Oh, Peyton Manning's my guy. I love Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's hilarious. I love the way that he operates the game. Came in with all the hype as opposed to Tom Brady coming in like where
Jeff
they came
Saturday.
in. Peyton Manning went and won. Got the job done in Denver, and I missed out. Like I had this hate on for Brady for a long time, and then Brady went to Tampa, and it just seemed like he was relaxed. Maybe I hated Belichick the whole time. Maybe that's all it was. But I missed out on respecting a lot of Brady's greatness until he got to Tampa. Same with Sidney Crosby when I was anti-Sidney Crosby in the early Ovechkin-Crosby days. I missed out on enjoying his greatness a little bit as well. So don't let yourself miss out on enjoying the greatness of LeBron James.
You're speaking from experience here. You know what it feels like. Don't.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna retire and you can be like, damn it.
Yep, Dusty was right.
You know, I just kind of hated him the whole time because he wasn't MJ, but you didn't realize that he's in his 21st year. And he's still going out and dropping 37 some nights. In year 21. Like, it's absolutely insane. He's hit 40,000 points. First to ever do it. I'm not sure who else gets there. And on top of that, he's not done. Like, they're talking about 2 or 3 more years. So just enjoy greatness when it is there in front of you. That's a good.
Much like these pies.
40,000 points.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the greatness.
Why do people hate him so much?
One, because you like him.
Why did you hate Tom Brady and why did you hate Sidney Crosby?
The Sidney Crosby one is just because everybody loved him so much. It really wasn't anything about him as a player. I thought everybody just loved him so much. Tom Brady, like I said, I don't know if maybe I just hated Belichick. I probably hated him because they were so damn good.
But so there's part of that. Like there's a lot of there's everyone has their reasons for hating whatever it is. But LeBron, the hate I could see is the decision was a big one. The TV special, the decision, that turned a lot of people off in that moment to LeBron right
they
there.
raised like millions for charity.
Right, but just the whole I'm taking my talents to South Beach, all of that, like it rubbed people the wrong way. You've got the pro MJ people.
Yeah, those people are always going to exist. I get it.
Right? There's also political reasons for this one.
Why? I'm just curious about that. Why? What made it? Like, why'd you turn it around?
Hold up a second. Oh, that's weird.
You okay, buddy?
Well, our online stream kind of froze for a second there.
But it's good.
Yeah, well, it just got back.
All right. You're going to be okay?
Was the YouTube one down?
No, it's been cruising along.
Yeah, okay. What was the question? Sorry.
So what you said, you hated him when he went to
the
Miami.
decision was a big one. I just didn't like the arrogance behind it.
Why did you turn him? Why did you all of a sudden start?
Because it was just, it's no reason to hate a great player. That's like it was in the moment. Didn't like that, but I just realized that's not a reason to. I like watching greatness. I do like watching the top players, and there's like, why am I going to hate this guy who's just brilliant at what he does and is going to go down as one of the greatest ever, just because of this TV special that he made when he was young? Like he was a young guy. I don't think LeBron now would make. I think if he looks back, he wouldn't do that again. Like the whole TV special, and raising the money, absolutely. But like doing the TV special, I don't think he would do that again.
Or even just chose his words differently.
All of that, right? Like, so I've grown to enjoy him once again, and that was pre Lakers. That 100% pre Lakers. It's not because he went to the Lakers that I'm now a LeBron fan.
I feel like so many people have done so many things worse than just announcing your free agency on television. You know, like in the overall scheme of things, like it's also really not that bad.
He goes to Miami and he goes, "We're not going to win one title. We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5." Like I can't remember. I think he counted 7.
They went up to 7.
7.
Like they were having some fun. They were in a moment. Like,
100%.
You get excited when you've got a crowd there just for the free agency signing, losing their mind. What are you supposed to say? We're going to come in and win. We hope we can win one. Like, come on. This isn't a hockey player. This is different. It's different. They operate differently.
People also hate great players. They hate people that get all the love and the buzz. And they love the underdog. Why do people hate the Golden State Warriors? Because they won a lot.
Yeah.
LeBron's a winner.
Well, depending on who you talk to.
And look, if you don't want to sit there and say LeBron is one of the top, I'll say just 5 greatest players to ever play in the NBA, I got to see what your 5 is that you put ahead of LeBron, because otherwise, like, there's a couple players in my mind that I can maybe accept. Beyond that, your opinion's not valid. It's just that simple.
See, the thing with me is
you just have hate at that point.
The conversation for the GOAT, for like the greatest of all time,
which Erica loves.
Do you love that conversation?
GOAT? Yeah, I love getting in pointless arguments that go nowhere and arrive on no answer. I'm right. No, you're wrong, and I'm right.
That's the thing. The issue for me is I'm open to the conversation both ways. What drives me nuts is the other people are like, there's no conversation. I think there's a conversation to be had. I think there's a great debate if people could reasonably go about it. But so many people don't even want to have the time for it. That's what drives me crazy. That's what infuriates me about the whole thing.
I remember having Bruce Arthur from the Toronto Star on with the JMO and Tide at the old place after LeBron beat Kareem's record. And he said, you can't now, like, no one could actually say that LeBron's not part of the conversation, which is a major accomplishment. You can't say it's not worth the conversation between who's better, him or MJ. That's what LeBron has at least accomplished, which is, at a bare minimum, utterly ridiculous of a career.
Yeah, in the conversation. I don't like, some people are refusing to put him in the conversation.
You can't take him, you can't have him out of your conversation of the greatest of all time. It's just that simple. And if you do,
look at that.
So he eats my piece.
D-Rock says LeBron James is a huge third-degree Freemason. How can anyone like the guy? Jeffy says there's no way Matty could understand. He's just a front runner for his teams and players.
I'm a front runner for my teams.
That's what Jeffy says.
I have cheered for every single one of my teams for over 20 plus years. Every single one of my teams I've cheered for over 20 years. I was a Laker fan in 2000.
Jeffy's words, not mine.
I'm just throwing that out there. I've just been like...
All right. Anyway, Back to the point. 40,000 points in his career. That's a good. That's a good for Italian Center Shop.
Back to the point.
The pizza is, I mean, this is top-notch stuff. You thought the panini was good. These pizzas hit, man.
Yeah, second slice.
And look how easy you can pick them up. Just boom.
The second slice always tastes a little more sweeter, hey, Maddie?
It is it's pretty good. Sorry. I only took the cheese off the end. You can have.
There's still a pie.
There's another full pizza over there ready to go.
So. Yeah, I'll have to heat my own up and all that but I have the hangout, so it's all cool.
You should take that in on the hangout, the full pizza, and offer it to everybody. That's a good idea too. All right, let's get to a sports update for Clayburn Services. If you're looking for work, they are looking for you. ClayburnServices.com, hiring all levels of apprentice, journeyman. They're looking for you right now. Eric's going to have more on that. If you want to play Kind of Easy Trivia today, we got that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. $25 up for grabs. All you have to do is get 3 of the 5 questions correct. Put the questions together yesterday. And, you should get this one. On a Monday, you should get it. $25 gift card to Mr. Mike's. If you want it right now, let's go. Text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you'd like to play Kind of Easy Trivia this morning. Sports update on the way. 3 questions too many coming up as well. And what is the bare minimum for you to view it as a successful deadline for the Edmonton Oilers? We are now just 4 sleeps away. They're coming in a little bit hot right now. We'll see how this road trip goes. But what say you? 780-218-9999.
Oilers embark on a 4-game trip beginning tomorrow in Boston following last night's 6-1 win over the Penguins. Calvin Pickard improving to 8-3 with the dub. Connor McDavid a goal and an assist, extending his point streak to 11. Zach Hyman another pair of goals, and Leon Draisaitl chipping in with 3 assists. Other action last night saw Vancouver defeat Anaheim 2-1. Jets defeating Buffalo 5-2, and the Kings over the Devils 5-1. 6 games around the NHL later tonight. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and wide receiver Mike Evans agreeing on a 2-year, $52 million extension this morning, which includes $35 million in guaranteed money. Formula One news, Alpine's technical director Matt Harmon and head of aerodynamics Dirk De Beer both resigning today, just 1 race into the new season. The announcement comes after both Alpine cars finished well out of the points at the Bahrain Grand Prix Saturday, finishing 17th and 18th. RJ Barrett had 23, leading the Raptors over the Hornets 111-106. Thunder hosts the Lakers tonight in one of 6 games. Raptors back on the court tomorrow against the Pelicans. Busy Monday taking place at the Briar. For the Alberta rinks, Team Sluchinski will face off against Nova Scotia this morning, while Kevin Cooey takes down Quebec. The afternoon draw will feature Brendan Bottrop against Northern Ontario. Tonight, Sluchinski battles PEI, while Cooey's up against Brad Gushu's Team Canada. Sports update brought to you by Clayburn Services. Take your career to the next level with Clayburn Services. They're hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing they are an industry leader in safety. Visit www.clayburnservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call, 780-910-6728.
Hey everyone, I'm Zach Hyman of the Edmonton Oilers.
She's so tenacious.
Hope you guys enjoy it.
Revving up his engine, listen to the crowd just roar. No reason for tension, Zach is gonna shoot and score. Hyman's in the scoring zone. Right into the scoring zone. Signed for 7 years, now he's playing by McDavid's side. He's got you jumping out of your seat cause of that look in his eyes. Hyman's in the scoring zone. He'll take you right into that scoring zone. You know he's gonna score a few. Playing with Connor, it's a top line overload. You'll finally see what he can do. So raise your hands up as high as they can go.
He always said that was a magician's secret.
and his energy is contagious.
Playing with an edge, that's what you're gonna see. Taking the next step, cause he's no longer with the Leafs. Hyman's in the scoring zone. He'll take you right into that scoring zone. Hyman's in
Zach
the
Hyman, a goal song. Nothing's been getting more run. Nothing's being a bigger mentions generator for sport ball than the Zach Hyman goal song. Good dude, good goal scorer. Bangs in a couple more last night. What happens first? I would have never thought at the beginning of this season I would even say this sentence. But what happens first? Hyman to 50 or McDavid to 30? How crazy is it that that's even a conversation that legitimately could be had right now?
And even crazier when you don't blink or think at all and say Hyman to 50.
Yeah, like without even adding
Easy,
that
like
McDavid's only at 23 goals right now.
McDavid, yada, yada, but yeah.
Does McDavid get 7 more before Hyman gets 8 more?
Hyman's moved into the scoring zone. He resides there. He pays taxes on land within the scoring zone.
What do you got? Hit us up, 780-218-9999, 780-218-99. That gets you into the Paris Steelers inbox. One of the questions we're asking today as we kick off deadline week right here on Edmonton Sports Talk is it's a simple one. What do the Oilers need to accomplish by the deadline on Friday for you to view this year's deadline as a success? What's the bare minimum for you to say, okay, no, that was a success?
Luke in Cowtown will give you an example. Bare minimum / very good trade deadline. Nick Dowd and Joel Edmondson out of Washington with money retention. That's it. That's all. Plan the parade.
I mean, I feel like we're setting the standard a little low.
An example to the exercise.
If that's successful deadline.
Bare minimum.
I think that's okay deadline. Okay deadline, but that's not successful deadline. Like, what is the bare minimum for a successful deadline? I will politely disagree with Dowd and Edmonton as successful. That's something, but I don't know if I'd view it as successful.
Somebody agreeing with Maddie and keeping the powder dry as well?
Well, Maddie was saying not necessarily just 100% keeping the powder dry. We're talking about
you should always
ways you could do it.
You could always make some moves, but like to me, in the keep powder dry, no major move.
Yeah.
Depth is
right.
Like the Mike Green deal from pre-COVID. I'd be okay with a deal like that and another bottom 6. I think the Oilers are good enough at that point still.
7. Remember, if you missed on the show today, Matt says if they beat Vegas, they're easily winning the Stanley Cup. Which is the boldest take that we've had maybe at Edmonton Sports Talk in general.
I said this in Vegas.
If you didn't retire, I would.
I don't know if you used the term easily.
I didn't say easily, but I said if they beat the Golden Knights, they're winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but easily really changes it, buddy. Like,
okay, well.
They could win the Stanley Cup, but it's very difficult. And I'm going to come in and be like, well, you didn't call it because you said it was going to be easy. 3 7-game series. It's not going to cut it.
They get interviewed afterwards. Yeah, it was a tough grind.
Yeah.
See, you're wrong.
I told you it wasn't going to be easy.
Actually, it was a breeze.
We got a couple of ways you can win text of the day today for A&W, just quickly. One, Rashog is sick, can't join us today. What excuse will he use next week? And we know he is sick, but we're still having some fun with it. Because he's been on vacation, I think 3 weeks, and now he's sick. So what's next week? There's a funny text in here somewhere, 780-218-9999. I also see people saying that, different ways Zach Hyman can continue to help people. What does Zach Hyman do in his spare time that helps the city? Right? He's digging people out of the snow with the Nuge. What's next for Zach Hyman?
He gets interviewed every time in the spring. They interview that guy from the city with that big hat about the mosquitoes.
About the mosquitoes?
Hyman's the guy now. He's in charge of it. He gets to wear that big hat. And you know what? None of us get a bite all summer long.
Zach Hyman is now in charge of mosquito protection in the city of Edmonton and the surrounding area. If they ever do announce that, I'd be like, I think he can get it done.
I'd feel supremely confident that my summer was going to be just absolutely no bites at all. Nobody would have to buy any sort of a bug repellent or anything like that.
Hit us up. And if you're watching on YouTube, give us a sub. If you're new to the channel or, you've just been watching and consuming, but you haven't subbed yet, give us a sub. That would go a long way. We are over 7,100 now. Who's going to play Kind of Easy Trivia today, boys? Who we got?
Brett is on the line.
Brett Brent or Brett?
Brett.
All right, Brett is going to play kind of easy trivia today for Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. Now with the 6 o'clocker lager on tap, if you're looking for one of their delicious Mike burgers, that's where you get it. Absolutely terrific. And I suggest the fries because they're some of the best I've ever had. All right, let's go to Brett. Brett, you ready to play today?
Let's do it.
All right, I will start the ticker after I read the first question. You need 3 of 5 to not be a major disappointment for the rest of your life. Good luck. Here we go. How many goals did the Oilers score last night?
6.
What position does Alex Nedeljkovic play?
Goaltender.
Which former Oilers first rounder is now on the Penguins roster?
Puljujarvi.
In what year did Sidney Crosby score the golden goal for Canada?
2010.
What is the name of Pittsburgh's baseball team?
Pirates.
Oh, you got it. 5 for 5 on a Monday.
Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a peddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Ooh, you better believe that's a peddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a peddling.
The first year we took it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
That's a nice way to start deadline week.
The old brain on Brett, hey?
Yeah.
You big sports nut.
A real sports nut, huh?
I like that.
It's good to have people, you know,
The full
who watch sports play kind of easy trivia.
Pittsburgh baseball team, not successful in any right. Nor should he. I mean, really, the Pirates, nobody really should care about. But
Yeah,
he's
you
got
almost
it.
know who
He's
the Pirates
locked
are
it down.
because
Yeah.
they're so bad.
Is that yeah, maybe?
Right? Nobody's been like, oh, man, Pirates.
I have time
They're
for the
amazing.
Pirates.
What's that?
I have time for the Pirates.
Is that because like their logo and stuff, it looks cool and
I
the
think
color
it does.
scheme
I think it
and
does.
stuff?
I want to find a hat with the pirate face with, and I don't think you can find it anymore. It's got the diamond in the background.
You got to be able to find a hat
Great
somewhere
logo.
online.
They got
right,
lots of logos, like kind of. I don't like the P, but give me the pirate. Give me the Buccaneer, right? Yeah. Must
Don't they have the like the
Pete the Pirate or something?
The kind of the different sort of fitting hat with like the 3 lines?
Yeah.
That's a nice one too.
Nobody told Rashog last week was a leap year, so he thought it was Sunday.
I like
Not
that
going
one.
for next week's
I like the other guy who
appearance,
texted and said maybe Zach Hyman could make Ryan Rashog some chicken noodle soup. All right, get him back on track. Zach Hyman, the best in the biz. As I said earlier this morning, Zach Hyman has been better than Leon Draisaitl this year.
So what? Hey,
I mean, that's how good a season he's been. That's how good of season he has had. We're not putting him in the Hart Trophy discussion
yet.
Was brought up briefly in the 6 o'clock hour today, but that's how good Zach Hyman has been this year. You could not ask for any more from Zach Hyman. I can't even get into the Naj comment over there on YouTube.
Well,
He's being sarcastic, I'm sure.
He has to be, right?
Yeah.
But to answer your question earlier, it's because you like him. This is the it's all. It's not. It's just if you reverse the roles and you came out and said, "Oh, LeBron's a bum and you're a big MJ guy," like
think there'd be haters the other way?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've never thought about it that way.
Because this debate never ends and there's no ending and everybody's right and everybody's wrong. Which drives me up the wall.
It is nice in hockey. Gretzky was like undebatable.
How and then
is Gretzky the greatest great of all time?
Gretzky called how the greatest?
Is Gretzky the greatest great of all time?
Yes, of all sports, is he the greatest great?
This seems like an off-season discussion for sure.
Sounds like a draft.
Because somebody put up the numbers.
Well, we did the draft of goats.
The goat draft.
There was a stat, I forget. Somebody will remember and let me know. But there was, I can't remember why it was brought up, but they showed just how many MVPs he won in his first years, all of that. And is he potentially the greatest GOAT of all
He basically won it all, like his whole time here. You know, like it was just, and he's so far beyond. Isn't it still the case that if he never scored a goal in the NHL, he'd still be the all-time leading scorer? Like that
Just
type
assists.
of stuff is insane.
Michael Phelps, though. Usain Bolt.
Oh, that's a good one.
Usain Bolt's a good one.
Like we can keep
Right,
depending
but
on the
like
discipline, it's hard to judge and hard to.
I know, but I think the argument for people that would go with Gretzky and is he the greatest GOAT of all GOATs is that there's almost no competition. Like some will go,
Gretzky or go
yeah,
for
like
Gretzky?
like Bobby Orr will be thrown in there a little.
separated
Well,
himself
that's what I'm saying.
right?
Like there's no like Bobby Orr will get thrown in there a little bit. People say if Lemieux was healthy, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Whereas in basketball, you could say MJ, you could say LeBron, you could go
make
back and
case for
say
the older
Wilt,
guys
you
too,
could say
yeah.
Russell. Like there's so many others. In football, you could say Brady. I think a lot of people will go with that one, but there's other names that might
But it's
start
not
getting
as
thrown.
separated as
Right in
as
soccer, you'll throw Messi, but you'll throw Pele in there, and you'll throw some others in there.
Pinaldo.
I don't think he's worked his way there anymore. That's where. So is Gretzky maybe because like even in his era, like it wasn't even close in his era. People could say, well, the '80s was so easy to score, but no, he was like separated himself even against his peers at the time. Is he potentially the greatest GOAT of all GOATs?
From a team perspective,
Bolt's a great one.
From a team perspective,
team.
I would say 100%. You get into some of the individuals, maybe it changes it a little bit, but I think from a team perspective, Gretzky has to be the GOAT of GOATs. Has to be.
I want more Lieutenant Eric's thoughts on this because he loves these. Just loves these. We'll do the Lieutenant Eric podcast, weekly podcast. You're going to talk about a GOAT from each sport.
How did you do in the draft of GOATs? Remember you did the greatest of all time?
Didn't really flick my interest too much.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Let's get into 3 questions too many for the great staff over at Park Mazda. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment today?
Sure do. It's 3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where Mitch Lewicki is considered the GOAT when it comes to dealer principles. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. ParkMazda.ca. You can check them out online. Very great interactive website. They'll help you today. You need a car, you need questions about getting a car, or if you just want to kill some time walking around a nice, clean, beautiful dealership, Park Mazda are the people.
Do you have a Twitter account?
At Lieutenant_Eric. It's been a pretty nice Monday morning on the old Twitter. Farsai, good to see her on Twitter. An old listener from the Lowdown days in 1260. She a tweet said, you and I. Number 18, Zach Hyman, is the guy who saves swimmers past the line when the wave machine is on at West Edmonton Mall. I know exactly who you're talking about there as the Zach Hyman texts continue. I did have my ugly from this morning's Good, Bad, and Ugly, if you missed that. The Darmstadt 6-0 loss at home, which made a fan come down from the stands onto the pitch and berate the entire team, medical staff, coaches, management, the entire thing there. And then I also replied to CFL on Reddit's account this morning.
Oh.
Dusty, maybe you could reply to this as well since you are a voice of the league. Football in Canada is on a massive upswing. There's a real path for a sustained surge in popularity across all codes. What do you think needs to be done for the sport of football to be elevated to the status it deserves in Canada? To which I replied, proper season-long fantasy instituted by the league and its broadcaster. I think Remus also gave that a like.
I don't need to reply. You nailed it.
That was it.
That's the one.
Okay, yeah.
That's the one.
Well, if you could give me a little retweet, that would be
mission
mission
accomplished.
Pump that idea up into the algorithm there. Yeah.
Before you get into this, I found the results of the GOAT draft.
Okay.
I don't know who everyone is. But
Okay.
you
We
won.
could figure it out, I think.
Well, you won, Dusty.
I think the
72.4% of the vote. Like it was
the most lopsided
pure
way to-
domination.
I must have had Gretzky.
Bob the GOAT.
You had Gretzky,
I
Woods,
also had
Phelps,
Tiger and
James, Georges St. Pierre, Tony Hawk, Haley Wickenheiser, Scotty Bowman. Like it was Vince Scully as your broadcaster. One got 7.6%, one got 4.6%, and one got 15.4%.
Okay, wait, say the other. So 2 people would have been relegated?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In that draft, 2 people would have been relegated. The one had Jordan, Bo Jackson, Dion, Jim Brown, Bobby Orr, Nadal. That's the open selections. Number 2 had Babe Ruth, Tom Brady, Pele, The Rock, Semenko, and Pete Weber. And this was with Hernan and Corey Graham.
That's got to be you, Pete Weber. That has to be
And
you.
Semenko.
And this is with Corey Graham
yeah,
and
CD.
Hernan Salas.
Oh,
And then the best, which only got 15%, was Muhammad Ali, Usain Bolt, Roger Federer, Jerry Rice, Hulk Hogan, and Lionel Messi.
But they're all great.
October 2020.
Mid-pandemic draft.
You're right in the thick of it.
Yeah. That was Hernan and CG. I love that. Good combination. Convincing victory. That was my peak. Never going to get that one again.
Yeah, you've been right at the bottom of the last 2 drafts.
Holy smokes. What do you care?
I don't. I'm just pointing it out.
He pays attention.
Just pointing out facts.
You read the paper, you know.
I didn't get relegated, thankfully. But we'll have to get. I don't know when we'll fit in the next draft. We'll have
that 4-point-some%'s got to be the worst ever.
Who was that? Was that the one with Pete Weber?
That would have been his. If you had Pete Weber, it was less than 5% of the vote.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. All right, let's get into 3 questions here. Question number 1. This is an interesting one. You'll probably like to play along. 780-218-9999 or in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Which roster player is most likely to not be here this time next week? Which roster player is most likely not to be here this time next week?
Cody Ceci. We're only.
I want to live in a world where the whole roster's still intact, but they've added to it. But is that possible?
Greedy guy over here.
Is that possible?
You're greedy. No, we're thinking of what, 3 players now? Or do you have
Cece's the one whose name has come up.
Yeah. Do you have a 4th maybe that we haven't heard? Are you going to get a little interesting?
No, I mean I feel like it probably comes down to Cece or Fogle from a cap perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Fogle's on the he's on a bunch of trade bait boards.
And I picked Cece just because I'd rather not lose. I'd rather still have Fogle in the fold somehow.
I feel like they
we go out, we get Carrier
from
in, the
disrupting
other guy.
the room, as Maddie talked about a little bit earlier, like depending on what you do. If you could keep everybody and just add to it a little bit, I think that just sort of fires the room up and brings them together as opposed to detracting from it as well.
For the question, if you had to.
I don't necessarily. Look what happened with Barry last year. Everybody loved Barry.
Yeah.
He left. Ekholm comes in. Everybody's fine.
So if one's not going to be here, though, for the question, who is it? Looking into your crystal ball, if you had to, if it's a roll of the dice.
I'd say CC.
Okay.
But I still think he'll be here. But if we had to say one, I'd say CC. Ewan Mason says Janmark.
Okay, see, that's
Fenner's Pancake says Kulak isn't going anywhere. It'll be CC or Fogle. Ron says Gagne, sad face. Right, you bring in so many guys, maybe you got to send somebody down. I could see the sad face there. See some Dylan Holloway propping up. Strummy says, I want to say Brown, but he hasn't been here all year.
That's the
good question. Good question. Question number 2. Guys, I heard on pregame last night that Trev is top 50 in the world in Chell. Which game do you think you could have ever made it that high on? I was also watching pregame last night, learned this for the first time. Did you know this?
Is he legit top 50?
Yeah, so last night they were talking. They're like, yeah, did you know that Trev's one of the top 50 NHL players in the world? And then Trev was like, yeah, I played the number 1 ranked guy in the world not that long ago and lost 3-2 in overtime. I was like, how good is this kid at video games?
He now enters the GOAT debate?
I guess. I mean, top 50.
I don't know. Do we start developing him, working on that?
I think so.
Bring into the same game and we need an hour every day of you practicing, Trev.
Team EST.
Oh, you get the esport going.
Exactly.
Team EST esport lead, and he leads the charge.
What's the better path to big success for Edmonton Sports Talk? Us continuing to build what we're building, adding programming the rest of the day and stuff.
That's boring.
The golf tournament, the Vegas trip, all this stuff. Or we just put all of our resources into Trev becoming the number 1 player in the world.
Esport's massive. It's got billions of dollars now.
Yeah.
Let's go that way.
Is that where we're going to lose Trev to? An esports career?
You went to Vegas looking for that live money.
Maybe
the answer's been in front of us this whole
it was
time.
in the house.
It's esports.
We all have to work on YouTube, Trev.
That was, I was stunned.
I got to see this.
I'm glad somebody brought this back up. Yeah, I was stunned.
He'll be in tomorrow to talk to him about it.
Yeah. Is he with us tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get into it tomorrow.
Sir Fair Brett. At least Trevor doesn't fall over the blue line in Shell 24.
That's a pretty good bird, man. That's a pretty good bird.
Tecmo Super Bowl, Super Nintendo.
That's
my answer.
I mean, right now,
I'd destroy that one.
If we were to say, let's go back 2 years, you and me probably would have been top 50, top 30 in the world.
Easily.
Hernan still wouldn't have made the grade, and UConn also wouldn't have made it. But I would probably put you and I top 30 in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Tecmo in our prime, in our pandemic prime with Tecmo Super Bowl, 100%. I was also going to say Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the first one when I was in university. I played that game 8 to 10 hours a day. I basically dropped out of school just to play that video game, and I was pretty good at it. But that was different times back then. You couldn't play against people online and stuff.
Well, who knows how you would have stacked up? What could have been?
What about you, Eric?
Yeah.
What about you? What could have you been top 15?
Toe Jam and Earl, General Chaos, Mario Kart. I think is always one that everybody can.
I liked Mario Kart. I don't think I was great.
Think that
64?
64. Yeah, that's the one.
I got really good at that at Nate because that's all we did.
Well, yeah, they in the room there. We're gonna have to get a Mario Golf tournament again.
We haven't done that in a long
boys.
time.
Yeah, we dress up in golf gear and then we play Mario Golf all afternoon.
That was a lot of fun. Eh? You guys would have
That's
fun
a
with
good
that.
game.
Mario Golf was great. I remember playing
It's
that
a
one
hell of a
ton.
game. User friendly, like the whole bit. Mario Tennis dropped the ball, but
Jenna makes an interesting point in the Nasty Chat this morning. Esport Trev's initials are EST. Destiny be thy name. What are the odds of that? We get double dip here. double dip on dip on that one. Double dip on that one for sure. The third question comes in to the Parachuters inbox at 780-218-9999. Guys, in honor of the LeBron Jordan talk today, what would you say to you is the most annoying debate in all of sports? I'm trying to think. I mean, I get emotionally invested in that one, but...
Analytics.
That's annoying to you?
Yeah.
But
I hate everyone.
You're not anti-analytics.
No.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that there's
That's
the
a
one
good answer.
side that want nothing to do with analytics.
It's a good answer.
There are some on the analytics side that say everything everyone else did in the past is completely wrong, is never going to be, and it's just like...
There's no middle ground.
For some, I think we've gotten to a point where it's become more accepting from both sides to the other side, but there are still those staunch supporters on either side that just make it absolutely annoying. That if you don't believe in analytics, like anyone that has any thought of analytics is the stupidest person. They've never skated. They live in their parents' basement. While if you're full analytics, just the idea that the eye test might be something still is just makes you the stupidest person on the planet, and like you shouldn't be in charge of a hockey. Like at the peak, that was the worst.
You know, I'm going to have to say the people who have like zero time for the Canadian Football League because it's just not real football. NFL's the only real football. CFL's not real football. Like, just watch the Canadian Football League. It's a highly entertaining football-based product. It just is. I can't watch it because of this. Well, actually, no, that does happen there. Well, I can't watch it. I can't go to the games because of the tailgate. No, they do have tailgate. Like, I get annoyed with people who keep finding ways to try to not watch the CFL when the reasons that they're not watching are actually not legitimate reasons anymore. So that one always drives me nuts.
Is this just a question of what we hate?
I enjoy both leagues very much.
I hate the CFL NFL thing.
Yeah. 780-218-9999. Dave the Welder's in says, most annoying, Leafs players are for some reason better than anyone else. That's back from my pipeline stint up north. Something that he would have had to get into all the time. 780-218-9999. Dwayne Burke, he's a CFL fantasy guy, says NFL versus CFL. That's the thing. Like, they're both great leagues. I love watching both of them. They're both good for different reasons. Some things drive me nuts about the Canadian Football League. Some things drive me nuts about the National Football League. But I still love both of them. That's one of the most annoying things is how people think they have to only like one or the other.
I think money, too, in sports. And that is clearly what separates NFL and CFL. And you can say, oh, well, the talent. Well, yeah, because it's the money. The money buys you the talent. But talking about finance and money and watching the NFL, raising the salary cap last week?
By 30 mil.
I mean, just casually dropping that down. We're talking an NHL with how the cap is with the NHL compared to all the other leagues around North America. I'll take the CFL NFL debate further, and I think, again, finance plays a big role in it. I hate talking about the finance of sport. It sickens me. It makes me feel sick to my stomach. It makes me feel sick when salary caps are... I get it helps the team and it helps the league or whatever the case is. But at what point are you going to a game paying upwards of however many hundreds of dollars for you and your child to watch a guy making $1 billion in front of your face and you can't buy groceries or whatever the case is? Finance in sports sickens me. It sickens the hell out of me. And actually, I think one of the refreshing things about the Canadian Football League is that we don't talk about the finances all that much. As much as sometimes it bothers us that there's no cap limit for a team or finance specificities, I do find it refreshing that we talk about the CFL, we talk about the football played, we talk about the players, we talk about the stories, everything else aside from the money, which again, getting into hockey sometimes, I mean, you need a finance degree. We're talking, and you get people out in the street. Oh, I'll tell you how the cap works with this team and how they can make. No, you can't. Nobody can. This is stuff that this isn't sports anymore. Now we're talking about stock market finance, and it gives me a headache. I don't like money. Never understood it. And that's maybe why I like the CFL more than the NFL is because they don't deal in the money. If that makes any sort of sense.
Money has ruined sports quite a bit.
Absolutely, it has.
I hate the conversations around where we judge a player based on the contract as opposed to just their play in general, right? Sean Horkoff was the $7 million forward and stuff, as opposed to just looking at what he does because it's attached to that and eats up cap space. Darnell Nurse is the $9.25 million defenseman, as opposed to people able, and that clouds people's judgment of that player because they're focusing on, well, if Darnell Nurse was a $7 million defenseman, all of a sudden he's a much better defenseman to these people as opposed to what he is, because now they're tying it to the money. Yeah. And it's one of the reasons I love Olympic debates is because when we talk about building a Team Canada or other teams, it's just hockey.
Just hockey.
We're just talking about hockey at that point and building those. And, even to soccer to a degree for me, I don't really know their salaries. It's great to watch soccer because
salaries are kind of not really. It's always the fee. It's not so much.
Yeah, but no one focuses on. I go watch the Derby last past weekend, and I'm just mad that United lost. I don't care what they're making. I'm just mad at the team. Or if they go win, I'm happy. And the salaries I don't feel like are as much into the soccer world, which helps make that enjoyable a little bit more because the salaries just in the other sports are just too much.
And I want to and God forbid a CFL player has another job. Outside of football, oh, wow, what a loser.
Yeah.
Most people are pulling two jobs. That's what I've always said. It's the working person's league. To see a guy that, has to go roofing or doing stuff, and that's who I'll
It's
spend
the
money on
easiest league to connect with.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Absolutely. So I don't have time for that. Now we're getting hot here.
Well, but it's not everybody. It's not the entire league that has to go find other jobs.
No, and that's another thing, too.
Yeah. Fun discussion. Good question. Coming out of 3 questions too many today. Brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda. You can text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Max is in and says, NFL creates more excitement. The hype is way better and attracts new viewers, even in fantasy.
I didn't debate any of those.
Yeah,
I get it.
The
NFL,
NFL,
got a lot of money.
The NFL is a monster.
You can do whatever they want.
It's a monster. They're two completely different products. This is what I'm talking about. You can enjoy both. Both are very entertaining for different reasons.
If I had a rock, paper, scissors league going on in my backyard and I had the type of money the NFL has, I guarantee you it'd be just as popular. I'd make it so.
Yeah.
You make it. The money does that. Lipstick on the pig. Et cetera, et cetera.
Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or hit us up in the nasty chat as well. You can listen at edmontonsportstalk.com. You can listen on TuneIn, as you have been able to do for a few months. And just announced recently, you can also listen on iHeart. Edmonton Sports Talk has our own iHeart channel. If you've not yet downloaded the free iHeart app, super easy to do. Download it, fire it up, hit play, like our channel, pops right back up all the time, connect it to your vehicle, and you are cruising along every single morning. McJesus in it says, I don't have a big dog in the fight, but is NFL, CFL kind of just another F1 NASCAR debate? Where it's auto racing, but it's very much different auto racing, whereas it's football. But it's more similar than maybe not.
Yeah, I think you can make comparisons there, but I don't think it's straight across the board.
Yeah, I don't think they're the same. F1 NASCAR, I think more of the debate is
more different.
NASCAR is better than F1 in entertainment wise and all that. And I don't think I think you ask the majority of CFL fans, they have no problem saying the NFL has better players. No problem that they've got the best football players. Like NASCAR, they might say, they're not that good of drivers. There might be, they try to almost maybe sometimes make it more of a level playing field. You'll never have someone say the CFL is the same level talent-wise as the NFL. just that it's more enjoyable to some people, just how they take in football. So I don't like that debate as much because it's, I think the majority of CFL fans know that it's the second best league in the world. It's not the best league in the world in terms of pure talent pool. It's the second.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. When the Trappers were here, as a city, we loved the Trappers. That wasn't the Major League Baseball. It wasn't the pros.
But you still go watch it.
Or like the top league, but we loved it because, well, that was the best we could do, and that's the best we were ever going to get, and it's also was quality baseball. Same with CFL. We're never getting an NFL team in Edmonton. If you want professional football in Edmonton, the XFL's not coming, or the UFL, whatever that's called.
Don't want
This is the top level of football we'll ever get professional, ever. The CFL dies. We're never getting a professional football team in Edmonton.
Trainer Mark is in and says, complaining about NFL and CFL is complaining about 50% less sodium products compared to full sodium. They're both fine, and you can like both depending on who you're with or the mood that you're in.
And that's from a trainer, so I'd take that.
That's
I like
a
the
trainer
sodium.
talking sodium.
I like the sodium example here. I didn't know.
That's a trainer talking sodium. Smitty the Welder's in and says, so Friedman just confirmed that the Oilers offered their first-round pick for Tanev. I feel like we already knew about that.
Yeah, there was that.
I don't know if that's just confirmed. I'm pretty sure Pierre LeBrun was on that last week. The first was also in play for Sean Walker. We're not sure where that conversation is going to go, but I don't think that's anything. I don't think that's anything breaking as far as the deadline goes. I would think, I do wonder from a trade deadline perspective with the Edmonton Oilers on who or what are conversation enders. Like, we know the 2024 first is going to be in play. Mm-hmm. We know the 2025 first is going to be in play if required. But if somebody calls and goes, yeah, you want Buchnevich, but oh man, you didn't tell us Fraser was in today. My God, what a Monday surprise!
He knew exactly what he's doing.
Who else is on the hangout today?
Jeff Kershell.
Shut up.
Jeff Kershell, Will Fraser on the hangout today. Yeah. It's going to be fun.
I can't wait till those two guys see each other.
They've been on before together.
Oh, my bad.
Just loaded on
It's
sugar
great.
today.
They're going to have a lot of fun. And,
oh, my God. Fraser Crusher?
Crusher's got a big seminar coming up next week, so we'll talk about that a bit.
Yeah,
and
that's
just
right. I
all
was in
over
on
the
those
place.
emails. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And Tommy?
I think so.
All right. Tommy, Maddie, Fraser, Crusher. That's a hangout right there.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Can I come too?
What a nice surprise on a Monday. Thanks for not telling us. I love that surprise even more so. Walks in, gives us a cool look and stuff. That's that's so good. That's so good. Wait, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Well,
so, like, if the Blues say, hey, we'll give you Buchnevich, but we want Dylan Holloway. You can keep your first, but we want Holloway to be kind of the main piece of this. Like, if you're Ken Holland, do you say, that's ridiculous, and you hang up? Or do you say, let me talk to my team? We'll run it by Jackson and Paul Coffey and stuff.
2J.
What do you think? What do you like? Is that?
Well, I don't think you
or
ever
like,
hang
what about
up
Broberg
screaming at
when people
anybody.
call about Broberg, but it's for a guy with term? Like, Broberg and Holloway can't be off the table, can they? Maybe they can. I don't know.
If you have a potential to make your team better for the Cup this year and it costs you Broberg, why wouldn't you? It's not
I
like
thought you were talking about saving assets, Matty.
No, I'm just like
you're confusing me now.
It's the 25.
Oh, I said like I could accept that. Like you're saying, what would be off the table? Like if you're going to go get that Matthias Ekholm type deal or something this year, like Broberg's not been part of the solution right now for this team, so you can afford to lose him if you need to.
Yeah. Well, some people think Broberg could still make an impact on this team this year because of the way he's been playing in the American Hockey League. As the number 7, maybe. And gets into some playoff
Campbell
games.
and Broberg to the rescue, hey?
There's your trade deadline moves.
The Black Aces. There's two things I love about trade deadline. There is, it's self-rental.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Okay, that's
when
the
you
term.
keep
Yeah,
a guy who's
yeah.
a UFA, and he's referred to as self-rental.
Hey, that's the term you've been looking for all along, yeah?
The self-rental.
Term, yeah.
Yeah.
Or when a guy comes back from injury and there's a deadline deal. There's your deadline move, right?
The guy who comes back from injury.
The Oilers don't have one of those right now, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. The Naj is Broberg is not an NHL defenseman. Holloway is good, but not out of this world. I think. I mean, if you're making a move now, I would not include either of them in a deal for a rental. I'm sorry, I don't think you can do that for a rental. That's probably too pricey.
Yep.
for a rental. But if you get a guy with term, then that's something that you can.
Penner's Pancakes agrees. Impact player with term, Broberg and Holloway are both on the table. Win now.
This text is in and says, guys, is Connor Brown ever going to score? Yeah.
Didn't have a question mark, though, so maybe it's more of a statement.
Maybe, yeah, that's it.
It wasn't asking. It was just kind of, thank you, Daniel, for the text, though.
I like that one.
You're not the first to inquire.
Ron is asking, would you entertain a deal centered around Broberg and Campbell for Korpisalo and Chychrun? Man, we got to stop pretending that Campbell's going to be traded here. Like,
no,
I just don't see
trade it
it
to the Oilers. It's an in-house acquisition here, right, Matty?
Oilers add goalie by calling up Jack Campbell.
Give me the tweet. Give me the tweet.
Oilers add $5 million netminder prior to deadline. What? This is amazing. Who is it? Oh, they've called Jack Campbell up. That's a tough one. Gord Marner says Vetrano at $2 million cap hit for Holloway and a first. Get it done. I know I said I wouldn't be.
You said there would be no deal that would get you. You're saying overpayment.
I said I will not say at this year's deadline that it's anything's an overpayment. But you're testing me here. You're testing me. I think a first and Dylan Holloway for Frank Vetrano. She's a little pricey. It's a little pricey.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can do that. $780-218-9999.
It's like the GOAT debate. Oh, what would you do? Oh, I wouldn't do anything. Yeah, but what if this comes on? Well, maybe I have time for it.
Guys,
nothing's out of the question.
There's just so many different variables that it's impossible to have a full,
you can't
be definitive one way. You can't be definitive one. Just like as you pointed me, I just said one thing and then Broberg, yeah, you're trying. Like it's hard to be completely definitive.
I think I did this on Friday. I'm going to do it again today and every day. I have to reiterate for myself. Come deadline day, you will not hear me on Edmonton Sports Talk say the Edmonton Oilers overpaid for anyone.
No, you can't say that.
Regardless of the
price. You can't be that definitive.
Because I say they got to be all in, and all in means push everything in. That's it. I think it come and I'll take the hit. If they go and
don't put yourself in that spot.
They go and move Broberg, Holloway in a first.
Don't put
for
yourself
Sean
in that spot.
Walker. I'm going to step in and be like, I got to be a man of my word.
Because there's absolutely could be overpayments. Even though it's going all in, there could absolutely be like where this goes back to I'll say the Duncan Keith trade. That was an overpayment.
We're talking Duncan.
Well, I'm just gonna go. I'm using that as an example that where the Oilers could have probably done less, given up less, and found a way to get him cheaper or cap retention. There could have, which then would have given the Oilers the ability to maybe have made another move that offseason or going into the next season. It's the same thing here. If they overpay on one deal, maybe that hurts them for another deal that could have happened on Friday. So there's nothing wrong with saying that they overpaid on something while it's still knowing that they need to go all in for this season. Don't box yourself in like that.
Myself in.
He's boxed.
I'm getting a refrigerator-sized box, and I'm going to stand in it all day on Friday and box myself in here.
2 little holes for the eyes.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
We're going to be doing a 3-hour oil stream deadline show, and I'm going to have a box right here.
Trademaster 4000.
What have I done?
Compute out the.
What have I done? I'm stuck in this box because of my ridiculous take from Monday. But I like Deflame Engineer says, Dusty, you aren't wrong. Good. Good. Thank you. That's one person. I got one person who has my back on this.
Yeah.
I got one person.
Not saying you're right, but you're not wrong.
We'll see how this. I love Zedmo says. One guy goes, Holloway has 4 points, and another guy goes, yeah, but Holloway could turn into a Hyman. Yeah, but if you go look at Zach Hyman, like he didn't produce anything for his first 3 years at college. 3 years at college, people probably would have been like, well, this guy's never going to play. And then go look at his 4th year in NCAA. Absolutely blew up on the scene. And then, it's kind of just taking his time to get ramped up. And now he plays with Connor McDavid, and he does one thing. Well, he does a lot of things very well. He does one thing that's just super smart that a lot of other people haven't been able to figure out. Go to the net when Connor McDavid has the puck, and Connor McDavid will find you. It's just... It seems like difficult, but he decides to actually do it.
What is goal heat map? Hey, it's just that red.
It's just right
it's
around
like
the crease.
That's just like a little bigger.
Right around the crease. Nick Raz is in and says, we can dream about a Campbell trade, can't we? Yeah, sure, man. If you want to waste your dreams at night about a Jack Campbell trade, have at her. How many people lay down in bed at night, Oilers fans, and go, sometimes when you lay down, you're like, oh, I'm going to think about this, and hopefully I dream about it. That's what they're thinking.
I think they're thinking of sleep paralysis in this case. It's more of a Campbell, I can't move. It's like you boxed in.
Bones is in today. It says, Campbell coming back to the Oilers is like Troy McClure. You may remember me from such blowouts as October 28th against the Wild, 6 goals against, and an 804. Or October 11th against Vancouver, 4 goals against and a 750.
If he comes back wearing thick-rimmed prescription glasses, I'm all for it. Give me that. Give me that.
Treeland is in and says, it could be an overpayment, but the cup run coming after the regular season will make the point irrelevant.
Priceless is what he's saying.
That's the only hope that I would have in some of these situations where I go, mind you, okay, I know where you're going to come out on this, Matty, but they make something everybody else thinks it's an overpay. Mm-hmm. And I said no overpays on deadline day. It's fine. I like this deal. Then they go and win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And I go, see, I told you it wasn't an overpay.
Yeah.
Would you still make the argument that it's an overpay even though they won the Stanley Cup?
Well, they both could be true. They overpaid, but ultimately the whole goal is to win the cup, and that's what matters most. So it doesn't matter.
They overpaid.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe they paid the exact right amount. They paid what the cost was.
Well, no, because they could
come in and win the cup.
They could have still maybe the argument would be that they could have given up maybe a little less and got that same player type thing like that. That's what overpayment kind of means, or that they could have got someone else who could have done similar but for less. Both can be true. But the thing that matters most is winning a cup, so that's what's should stand above all else. You could still say there was maybe an overpayment, but they won a cup, so that's all that matters. But that's all that matters is winning the cup. Who cares how you got there?
Yeah, but what'll happen is they'll win the Stanley Cup.
But it'll be the next year people will complain about it.
People will be like, well, if they wouldn't have overpaid,
there'll be some of that.
You won the Stanley Cup.
But that's what matters most. But again, still both can be true. Duncan Keith was very important for the Oilers that year. They still should have gotten for less. Both are true.
Richard's in the nasty chat says, how soft is the water at TSN? No dragger and no Rashad today?
saw that one too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Dregs is, they're both sick.
It's the deadline.
They're both sick.
What you going to do?
You got to rest up on deadline week.
Yeah.
Oh, is Drager going to miss out being in studio on Friday?
You can't. With the hijinks that they're
going to bring food in.
Are we going to bring food in for our deadline coverage?
We could.
Probably.
We always did at the old place. Last year, though, it was an issue. It was close. We almost didn't have it last year.
We got 2 pies in there already.
Why didn't we almost have it last year?
I'm not bringing that one on air.
I don't even remember that one.
No, you wouldn't know. This was all. This was.
Is it behind the scenes?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, I miss those weird things that used to happen. I would think there's some Popeyes or Mr. Mike's drop-offs coming, or we pick up a few of these Italian center shop pizzas for the boys too.
Yeah, no, a couple pies.
They can make that work. Make that work really well. As for deadline day, we're going to go Nielsen Show. Matty, take us through the plans.
Well, Nielsen Show 6 to 9, Hangout 9 to 11. What's happening with Lock Shop? Have you talked with us?
Huss told me on Friday that he's probably going to go like 4 hours of coverage.
Well, when's he going to start?
Lock Shop's not going to happen.
We'll double check with him.
I'll double check with him.
Make
but
sure.
As of this moment, I'd say probably no Lock Shop on Friday. Extended Winnipeg Sports Talk. Huss and I will still tweet out our picks. I can pass them along. But our plan is...
And then it would be 11 till 2.
11 till 2.
Oil Stream. You, Tommy, Gage.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we could get... Bell might be in the building that day for various reasons. So, I don't know. We'll make it work for 3 hours. We'll play Ken Holland, and we'll wrap up. Basically, just keep it locked to Edmonton Sports Talk on YouTube, on TuneIn, or iHeartRadio, or EdmontonSportsTalk.com on Friday, and we'll have you fully covered.
I'm looking forward to it. Not as much as I'm looking forward to Phrase being in on the Hangout today. What a treat.
I said, now, where are you doing Oil Stream?
What's that?
Are you going to do it in here, or are you going to go into the Hangout studio?
If it's just me and Gager and Tommy, we can do it here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, during the dedeadline, you want to have your computers right in front of you.
Okay.
Right? It's a little bit different than over there. You'd have to have it.
Maybe at 1 o'clock we could slide over. Mid-show, just slide over.
It's an interesting transition. But we do have that camera activated, right? So we have you on fourth cam or whatever. And
We'll make it work.
Should be pretty good deadline day. We're looking forward to it. We're expecting the Edmonton Oilers to obviously do something. Somebody said, I'm excited. Stossman saying 2 forwards and D. If they can land a top 6, a bottom 6, and a defenseman, Ken Holland, you've done it.
And keeps all the picks.
Ken Holland, you've done it. That would probably be enough for them to beat Vegas and then easily win the Stanley Cup.
Easy. You keep all your picks. You acquire all those people. You don't mess around with any team chemistry. You beat Vegas, and it's an easy Cup win. Why do we even need the week?
Yeah, just get to it today.
Can
we just get to the deadline
go to sleep,
today?
wake
Come
up
on,
Friday.
honestly.
Let's go. We know what we're doing.
Do we like the deadline on the Friday?
I do.
Because it used to be in the Monday or the Tuesday.
I do.
I'm gonna say, from a content perspective, no. I'd rather it on a Thursday so we can react first thing Friday morning.
But you still like it at the end of the week.
Right, we're not going to get to it. We're going to be on the air doing coverage and stuff. Yeah, that's a good point,
You know
too.
what I mean? Like, I like coming here this
the
morning
lead
and
up,
we
the
know
whole
there's a
week lead up.
week
That's why I put it on Thursday.
Yeah, okay.
You get 3 days of pre-deadline stuff. You get deadline day itself, and then you get the Friday deadline day recap.
That's fair.
As opposed to going into Saturday. Now, luckily for us, we got Hello Hockey on Saturday.
Absolute.
So those boys are both
Oilers also have 2 games on the weekend. Early games, too.
Oh, yeah, the awkward schedule this weekend. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday, too. So, yeah. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, there it is. There's the hug. There's the Will Fraser, Jeff Kershaw hug. Oh, man. Whew. That hit. Real nice right there. God. All right, let's go the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, get it done at William Huff. It's also very smooth. The wraps that they do here, it's terrific. Visit them online, www.williamhuff.com. They wrap Rogers, they wrap Commonwealth, they wrap Edmonton Sports Talk Global Headquarters. So you know you can trust Bruce and his team. Eric, what'd you learn on the show today, buddy?
Matty thinks that if the Oilers defeat the Vegas Golden Knights, it'll be an easy path to the Stanley Cup. Is that my paraphrasing?
That
Is
down.
that the direct quote? That's
Surveyor
what
Brett.
Matt thinks it's easy.
Surveyor
That's
Brett,
just
put
what
that
I-
in your phone.
A hellacious look, and not since Vegas when he claimed Aiden Hill is the Patrick Waugh of Patrick Waughs. That's 2 bangers here from Iwanic relating to the Oilers and the Golden Knights. So
put it in the phone. March 4th.
He called it.
If the Oilers beat the Golden Knights, should they play them and beat them, they will win the Stanley Cup easily. So that's I like that. That's a good one.
And Alpine kind of that's tough, eh? That Alpine news, hey? I know that you're Matt Harmon.
I don't
and
necessarily
Dirk DeBeer.
Is that what I mean?
A cool name, but both resigned today. Just 1 race into the season. Alpine's technical director and head of aerodynamics, as they placed both 17th and 18th at the Bahrain Grand Prix. We wish them well.
I learned today that the Italian center shop pizza, that's a good.
Slaps, eh? Like you could slap across the face. Plap.
That's very good.
Remember the pull that I had?
Oh,
we'll always remember the pull.
That was one of the most legendary cheese pulls I've ever seen in my entire life.
Amazing. Best one I've been a part of easily.
Man, for sure.
And not on a fresh pie, a microwaved leftover. That's the power of this pizza.
That's really impressive.
That's the power of the pizza.
That's really impressive. Pick them up today. You can get them pre-wrapped. They're delicious. You're going to love them. Your family's going to love them. Let's go to your sound of the day today. Go Zach Hyman again. We have to. I mean, Zach Hyman has just taken a stranglehold on the sound of the day. He really
played
has.
for the car thing. We played for the goal. Let's play for helping the car to the
for
ditch.
Zach Hyman helping people get out of the snow. You know, this is brilliant stuff here. Oh, that's the end of it again. We played it so many times today.
Hey everyone, I'm Zach Hyman of the Edmonton Oilers.
She's so tenacious.
Hope you guys enjoy it.
Revving up his engine, listen to the crowd just roar. No reason for tension, Zach is gonna shoot and score. Hyman's in the scoring zone. Right into the scoring zone. He signed for 7 years, now he's playing by McDavid's side. He's got you jumping out of your seat cause of that look in his eyes. Hyman's Hyman's in the scoring zone. He'll take you right into that scoring zone. You know he's gonna score a few. Playing with Connor, it's a top line overload. You'll finally see what he can do. So raise your hands up as high as they can go.
He always said that was a magician's secret.
His energy is contagious.
Playing with an edge, that's what you're gonna see. Taking the next step, cause he's no longer with the Leafs. Hyman's in the scoring zone. He'll take you right into that scoring zone. Hyman's in the scoring zone. He'll take you right into that scoring zone.
Zach Hyman goal song as he hits 41 and 42 on the season. No big deal. All right, let's get to your text of the day for A and W. They've got the spicy piri piri buddies, just $3.99. And you get the whole leaf lettuce, you get the tomato, you get the onion, you get your choice of a chicken patty, a beef patty, or a hash brown patty. Tell your buddies the new spicy piri piri buddies are just $3.99. Zip through the drive-thru. They are here for a limited time only. Text of the day today is going to go to Luke in Cowtown. Zach Hyman could make chicken soup for Ryan Rashog.
Aha, brought it all back around.
Shoggy healthy, brought it all
Love
back.
it.
Zach Hyman's a really good dude. Ryan Rashog is sick today. Let's put them together.
Luke in Cowtown. Got it.
Luke in Cowtown. Text of the day. Congratulations, buddy. You're going A&W. Get those spicy piri piri buddies. What are you watching tonight, buddy?
Well, a little Premier League action this afternoon as the match day, whatever it is in the Premier League, comes to a close. Sheffield United, bottom of the table, and Arsenal still trying to keep pace near the top. So I'll be keeping an eye on that this afternoon as the afternoon transitions into the evening. And again, you and Huss will have more on tonight's NHL picture, taking a look at the schedule as it stands right now. What do we got here? 6 games? 6 on the sched. Vegas and Columbus of note. Seattle visiting the Flames, Colorado home to Chicago, and then the Toronto-Boston tilt I think you were talking about. Maybe.
Yeah, looking at that one being over the total of 6 tonight.
And of course, Boston, the Oilers' opponents tomorrow, so getting Boston off 2 in a row, back-to-back nights should be something. And then in the NBA, I think we got, Lakers Thunder tonight? Where is it here? Thunder hosts the Lakers tonight, so keep an eye on that. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Back to back for OKC.
Hey, come on.
Man, I could have got
Get
into
on board,
that Denver Lakers game a little bit more. Lakers look pretty good until the end.
I need
They
OKC.
just can't close against Jokic. That dude is a freak.
OKC step needs to be a thing now, I think.
OKC
I think we
step.
need to shed the Rip City, get an OKC step. Let's go step.
All right, I'm going to continue to watch Drive to Survive a little bit tonight as well.
And the
This
Briar.
new season's really good.
Lots of
Briar.
action. I just want to get you through
I
this.
was watching Briar last night during the Oilers game.
Well, the
I was
Saskatchewan Cooey game yesterday afternoon was, right down to last shot. But Sluchinski, Alberta rink, right now taking Nova Scotia. Kevin Cooey in action this morning. He's facing Quebec. This afternoon, Botcher is up against Northern Ontario. Tonight, the evening draw, 6 o'clock, Sluchinski against PEI. And then this is the one. Carrick Martin, right, friend of the Hangout. Him and Team Cooey will be up against Brad Gushu's Team Canada. So that should be the game of the evening. He does need it.
Cooey's got to have it?
It's
Okay.
getting tight there right
Okay.
now. So
Good to know. I know the foremost leader in curling betting in this country, Huss, on the
he'll
lock
have a
shop
hot
today
take or two.
at 11.
tied for 4th.
You're tied for 4th in your curling pool? You thought you had to tell us that? You're tied for 4th. How many people are in it?
Out of
Oh, that's not bad, man. Okay, out of 20. That changes things a little bit. Are you close to 1st, though? Oh, all right. Just picking winners? All right, not bad, Maddie. Congratulations on being fourth. Well, a little ways to go still here.
Make
in
the
Briar.
final.
That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for us. The hangout's coming up. It's gonna be a good one. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube, autoplay is on. That'll take you right on over to the hangout today. Matthew Wannick, Tom Gazzola, Will Fraser, Jeff Kershell. Oh my goodness, a dream coming up here on the hangout. If you're listening on TuneIn or at iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, you get a brief dose of Whale and the Wolf, and then the hangout will be firing up over there as well. Lock Shop at 11. Oil Stream today at noon as well with myself and Tom Gazzola. For Matthew Wannick, Lieutenant Eric, I am Dustin Nielson. Tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. Have a great day and take it easy.